Good evening, everyone. We welcome you to Byers Field here in Parma. It is the Division I Region 1 final tonight in high school football. It's our WKYC game of the week as the top seed in this region, the St. Edward Eagles, take on the Medina Battling Bees, the number 2 seed here in Region 1. I'm Dave DiNatale. Happy to have you with us. We're starting a smidgen late, and here's why. I'll show you right now here. If you were with us Okay, everybody, we'll welcome you back here to Byers Field. Not only did, oh, here we go. I have good news. We're back, and the lights are coming back on just in time for us as we did a quick restart of our equipment. So hopefully everybody's ready to go here in a few moments. That's certainly our hope here. But we apologize for the delay there during the anthem as we get ourselves resituated here at Byers Field. So that's the good news is we're starting a little bit late. That's the bad news. The good news is it appears like we will get started here shortly because the lights are now coming back on. As I said at the outset, this happened about 3 weeks ago when we were here to open the playoffs between Menor and St. Ignatius, and it started in the fourth quarter. Right as we started the fourth quarter, those West Side lights went out and caused us to have about a 20-minute delay or so, and it looks like the delay to start tonight probably won't be quite that long, but we'll have a delay here to get things started. All right, but now that we kind of know we're on here, and that's good news, we can start kind of to let you know a little bit more about these two teams. The top Region 1, St. Edward. Number 2 seed in this region, Medina. All year long, and really they've been on a collision course since they met in the playoffs last year, and this was the game last year that really kind of, I think, let everybody know that the Medina Battling Bees are here, and they may be on their way to something. Score what would have been the game-winning touchdown, but had his touchdown attempt stripped by Matt Spatney of the Bees, and that enabled the Medina to hold on and win that game 35-31. Medina is 13-0 this year, and the Eagles of St. Edward are 12-1. In my man Tyler Carey's top 5, Tyler's top 5, St. Edward and Medina pretty much have been number 1 and number 2 all year long. The only blemish on either team's record this year was a loss that St. Edward had to Moeller down in Cincinnati. And, be quite honest with you, that's not anything to be ashamed of at all. I mean, Moeller is very, very good. And it's just one of those things, but it didn't impact the computer rankings. And St. Edward, despite the loss, still was the top team in Region 1, with Medina right behind them. I mean, this was another year for St. Edward, for Tom Lombardo in his 7th year. He's already got 2 state championships since he arrived here for the Eagles. But this is something, every week there's a new hurdle or new milestone for Medina. First time, having an undefeated regular season, or, first time winning a conference championship going back to the early 70s. And they've done so much this year behind the arm and the talent and the leadership of their quarterback, Drew Aller, who is a commit to Penn State. Aller's season has shaked out like this. He has completed 62% of his passes, 448 attempts in 13 games. That's a lot. 278 completions, 4,147 yards. He has thrown for 47 touchdown passes and only 5 interceptions. He has, as a runner this year, he has scored 9 additional touchdowns. So Drew Aller has accounted for 56 touchdowns here in 2021. If he does not win the Mr. Football Award as the Ohio's best player, there is something wrong with that award, quite frankly. And I know there are other worthy candidates, and I'm not trying to deny that there are other people, but Aller's season has been unprecedented, and he continues to just shatter Medina school records, Medina County records, and he'll probably shatter some Ohio records before he's done and finished off here. And certainly for Medina, they're hoping that that conclusion will take them not just to this game and not just to next week's state semifinals, but a trip to the state championship somewhere along the line 2 weeks from now at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, whichever date that's going to be, that Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. But first things first for the Bees, they're going to have to knock out St. Edward again this year. By the by, the winner of tonight's game, we do know they will face the Region 3 champion, either Upper Arlington or Pickerington Central. And if you've followed high school football around in Division I over the last few years, it always feels like the winner that comes out of this stadium that wins the Region 1 title almost assuredly has to go through Pickerington Central to get to the Canton and the state championship, and that's been easier said than done for a lot of teams in Northeast Ohio. Ask Menor in particular how tough that's been. But that's what faces the winner of tonight's game. Let's go ahead as the lights are just about back on. The teams have not gotten on the field yet, and I think that's been a smart move. Coaches are just going to keep them in there until we're sure they can play, but I'm starting to see some people, team personnel, come out of the locker room, so that's a good sign. Medina won the toss, and they have elected to receive. So head coach Larry Laird wants his team on the field from the get-go. So that's going to be the case, and Drew Aller will have 5 tremendous wide receivers to work with. Drew Hensley, Brennan Schramm, Michael Rodak, Jawan Jackson, Ben Butler, and actually I'll throw in Reed Kelps. That's 6. And anything he does tonight, chances are if Thar's throwing the ball, one of those guys will catch it. Brennan Schramm has had a great year as a receiver for the Bees. 75 catches for 1,263 yards and 14 touchdowns. When they do run the ball, Matt Spatney will handle those duties. He averages about 5 yards per carry and has scored 7 touchdowns. On that offensive line for the Battling Bees, Mark Halstead is the left tackle, Evan Fiora is the left guard, Patrick Gillespie the center, Vinny Fall at right guard, and Zach Rosen is the right tackle. Larry Laird in his 6th year as the head coach of the Bees, his 11th year as a head coach overall. Previous stops including a previous stop at Medina, and then stints at Avon Lake and Strongsville. And now he's back in Medina and has them having a remarkable season. Tom Lombardo's defense will run a 4-2-5 tonight. Wyatt Gideon and Michael Kilbane are the defensive ends. C.J. Harvey and Matthew Ottoman are the tackles. Jeremiah Ratcliffe and Zion Freer-Brown are your 2 linebackers. And then Joel Castleberry and Carlton Landingham are the corners. Cam Drury, Ian Fairfield, and Jack Riley are the safeties. Kind of a tale of the tape, offense versus defense. Medina's offense as a team averaging 420 yards per game and 41.6 points. So rounded up, 42 points per game. St. Edward's defense has given up an average of 9 points per game and allow about 210 yards of total offense. They have accounted for this year 42.5 sacks and 62 tackles for a loss. When St. Edward has the ball, Christian Ramos, the senior, will be the quarterback. Connor Goodall, Rayshawn Manning, and Jackson T. Miller are your wide receivers. Brad Delphi is the tight end. Danny Enovich is the running back. Enovich is a good one. He's over 1,000 yards this year. Joey Lavelle at the left tackle. Alex Castros at left guard. Ricky Wolverton at center. Gio Kennedy is the right guard, and Ben Roebuck is the right tackle. Medina's defense, and we'll talk more when we see them on defense, but they'll also run a 4-2-5. Matt Spatney and Andrew Delac are the 2 defensive ends. Nick Manley, Ryan Farrell are the linemen. Jesse Ray and Matt Hamula are the linebackers. Jawan Jackson, Isaiah Perry are the corners. Zach King, Talon Holvey, and Keon Johnson are the safeties. So those are your lineups. St. Edward will tee it up and get ready to kick it off. And we will see now Medina have Jawan Jackson and Keon Johnson amongst those back deep to receive. The winner will play in the state semifinal next Friday, probably somewhere in Mansfield or Ashland, somewhere halfway between here and that Columbus area. And 2 weeks from tonight, perhaps, we'll get the state schedule here coming up. 2 weeks from tonight will be the state championship game in Division I. Ben Lavelle has it teed up for St. Edward, and we are ready to go from Byers Field. The Division I Region I championship game is underway. This kick is going to sail into the end zone. That'll be a touchback, and we'll see Drew Aller and company take over 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Drew Aller just can remember seeing him 2 years ago. We did a regular season game with Medina at their place against Euclid. And remember just thinking, oh, he's got good tools. And Larry Laird was running the air raid back then. Saw him last year in the regular season. Looked really good. And now he ended up throwing for 500-plus yards in the game we saw Medina play against Stowe earlier this year, which was really their coming-out game, I think all of us thought, looking back on first down. Aller will keep it off that snap, and short yardage maybe to the 21-yard line, just trying to cross up the Eagles on first down. And pretty much down for gave Drew about a half yard, so second down and a long 9 here as we are underway. A little bit tardy here, but ready to roll here from Byers Field. Medina from their own 21. Here's Aller. Looks right, throws over the middle, pass caught at the 30, out to the 32 to the 33-yard line. And on that catch, Drew Hensley for a first down over the middle. And the Bees quickly to the line, as they will do. They'll get set up, and then everybody takes a look over to Larry Laird and the coaching staff over at the bench to get the play call in. That's a gain of about 12 and a first down. Again, empty backfield pretty much will be like that all night long with 5 wide receivers. This time, Aller will shoot one over the middle, looking again for Hensley, and couldn't quite make the connection. It's incomplete. And it'll bring up a second down and 9, trying to split the zone in that St. Edward defense. Joel Castleberry and Ian Fairfield was over there. We're over there on the coverage, and it'll be second down. I think Ratcliffe was over there as well. Again, 5 wides, 3 to the left, 2 to the right, 2nd and 10 Medina. From their own 33, Aller shoots again over the middle. That one is caught, and again, it's Drew Hensley. They've been looking to that spot pretty much exclusively here on their first 3 throws. And that one gets them 9 out to the 42-yard line. It'll be third down and 1. So Drew Aller 2 for 3 throwing so far, and they've all been targeted at Drew Hensley. Hensley stays on the slot to the right, and Aller will go on the ground on third down and short, and looks like the Bees got the first down. And it was Spatney on the carry, and Matt took it out to the 44-yard line. That's enough for a first down. They don't operate very often in a running formation, but that time they did so, and they got the first down. So the ball will be spotted just shy of the Bees' 45. 10:19 to go in the running clock here in the first quarter. No score from Byers Field in this Division I Region I championship game. Low snap for Aller. Picks up, looks left, steps up, throws over the middle. Pass is caught into St. Edward territory and near another first down at the 46-yard line of the Eagles. And that one was Brennan Schramm coming up with the catch. And a great job by Aller just to get himself out of traffic. And Schramm went behind himself to make that catch. And it is a first down for the Bees. First time Aller had to deal with some pressure and was able to get out of trouble with his size and strength and picked up the first down. Again, it's a low snap, and a throw over on the right side is incomplete at the 50-yard line. Was looking for Ben Butler on a bubble screen, and that was well played by Castleberry. Second down and 10. Also, Hayden Rice was over there on the coverage. Second down and 10. Ball at the St. Edward 46 here for Medina in their opening drive of the night. That time Aller gets a good snap, looks right, and pass caught on a back shoulder throw for a first down at the 26-yard line. Oh, that's a heck of a catch over on the far side. I believe that was Rodak who made that catch. That was a beautiful back shoulder throw by Aller, and an equally good catch. And quickly now, Medina has it at the St. Edward 26. Again, 5 wide, same package. 2 receivers right, 3 on the left. From the 26, here's Aller. Flags go down. Drew rolls right. Fires one towards the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown for the moment. Medina Battling Bees. Drew Hensley's got it. And let's double check on the flag here. For the moment, I believe it's going to be a touchdown. And the referee just signaled over on the far side, touchdown, Battling Bees. Scoring pass from about 26 yards, Drew Aller to Drew Hensley. 48 touchdown passes now for Drew Aller, and that is Hensley's 9th touchdown catch. That touchdown drive took about 2.5 minutes off the clock. Medina football at its finest right there. Nick West for the extra point. Ball is down, kick up. Oh, good pressure for St. Edward, and the kick is no good. Somebody for the Eagles got in there and almost got the block, and it affected Nick West's extra point attempt. Sailed to the left, so it's a 6-0 B lead, here with 9:28 to go in this opening quarter. That may have been Torrey Williams who knifed in there for the Eagles and didn't block it, but it was good enough. It affected the kick. However, that was an 80-yard touchdown drive, and Aller hit Hensley 3 times, including the touchdown. Also got one to Schramm and one to Rodak as well. Good balance, exactly the way the Bees want to operate, and they lead it 6-0. 9 plays, 80 yards, took 2:32 off the clock. Now, you may wonder, okay, how did I compute that so fast? Because that's Brad Bourneval of the Medina Gazette taking care of me, because he does that. I'd like to say I knew it was 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I knew it was an 80-yard drive, but Brad took good care of me, as he always does. Yeah, this is a press box tonight of stars here at Byers Field. As the kick will sail over to the right. Castleberry's got it from the 4-yard line here for St. Edward. He's got a room to the 30. Castleberry, he'll get to the 50. He's got one man to beat. Sails to the right. He goes to the 30, down to the 25, and finally steps out of bounds at the 24-yard line. That's a good job by Nick West. He didn't make the tackle, but he slowed up Joel Castleberry just enough to prevent the touchdown. St. Edward does a marvelous job on their kick return team. They have 5 touchdowns this year. Landingham has 3, Mason has 2, and Castleberry very nearly got his first of the year. And the Eagles have tremendous field position. They will spot it at the Medina 23. So Christian Ramos and company ready to try to respond here after the opening touchdown by Medina. Ramos goes to the shotgun. Enovich to his right, gets the handoff, runs left, sweeps it out to the 20. He's got some room, tries to get to the outside, and he'll be run out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. Isaiah Perry over there with Talon Holvey to run him out of bounds. But a pretty good gain on first down for senior running back Danny Enovich. Got about 8 on that first down pickup, 2nd and 2 with 9:08 to go here in this first quarter. 6-0 Battling Bees. Ball goes to the left hash, and St. Edward will move to a pistol formation. 3 wide receivers. Enovich standing behind quarterback Christian Ramos. Enovich will this time run to the right and fall forward. He initially was going to be stopped at the 15, but he was able to fall ahead and take it right about at that first down marker to the 13, and they're actually going to spot it at the 12. It'll be a first down, and a good second effort by Danny Enovich. As we look over here, Rayshawn Manning will go out wide left, and Jackson T. Miller is on the slot left, and that's good all to the right. Ramos gets the low snap. He'll keep it. He'll run it straight up the gut inside the 10. And Christian will be brought down shy of the 5-yard line. Mark him down at the 6. And he gets about 6 yards on first down. 2nd and 4. But a good response drive here so far with the Castleberry kick return setting up the Eagles in the red zone. And they've got a 2nd and 4 now at the Medina 6. Manning will go out wide left. Goodall to the right. And a man in motion now is Miller. Give. Enovich running left. Gets to the 2. Gets to the 1. And he'll get stopped short of the goal line. But it will be enough for a first down. And it'll be a 1st and goal for the Eagles. So give it a 1st and goal here. And Ramos gets the play call from Tom Lombardo and his staff, and Eagles will try to punch it in here from the 1. 7:48 to go here in the opening quarter. 6-0 Medina. St. Edward trying to respond with a touchdown right now from the 1. 1st and goal. Ramos will stay in the shotgun. Enovich to his right. Miller goes in motion. Ramos gives. Enovich runs left and gets into the end zone. That's a touchdown for St. Edward. Danny Enovich with his 18th touchdown of the season ties the ball game at 6 with 7:31 to go here in the opening quarter. Again, big credit goes on that kick return to Joel Castleberry, and it really ignited St. Edward, and they were able to punch it in with a 23-yard touchdown drive capped off with the 1-yard score by Enovich. Now for the extra point and the lead. The kick is up, and the kick is good. I think that was Weston Jonke. They've got both Weston Jonke and Dakota Jonke kicking. And I think that was Weston on the extra point there. 7-6, St. Edward with the 1-point advantage now with 7:31 to go here in the first quarter. This is, pretty much I think what one would expect with these two teams. They'll execute in different ways. Obviously the Eagles want to run the ball with Ramos and Enovich, and Medina's going to throw all night. You do what you do best, and you're able to execute. So far for each offense, that's what we saw. 5-play, 23-yard drive took 1:57 off the clock, and Enovich finishes it with his 18th touchdown of the year. Enovich averaging 6 yards per carry. Went over 1,000 yards for the season last week. Went over 200 in the win, 42-0 that St. Edward posted against Canton McKinley. Right here on this very same field. All right, Lavelle will kick off. Johnson, Jackson amongst those back deep for Medina. And again, they're going to watch this one sail over everybody's heads and go to the end zone for a touchback. And Medina will again operate from the 20-yard line. The WKYC Game of the Week is presented by Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is the home of your home, and is the home of the original chicken sandwich. Stop by your neighborhood Chick-fil-A in Cleveland, Akron, and Canton. There's one right here, matter of fact, in Parma, right next door to Byers Field. Your neighborhood Chick-fil-A. 7-6, St. Edward by a point. With 7:31 to go in the first quarter of this Division I Region I final. I'm Dave DiNatale with you here in Parma on the WKYC Playoff Game of the Week. Drew Aller looks to throw in first down, pumping, rolling left side, pumps again, loses the football, and let's see who's got it. St. Edward says they have it, but officials don't agree, and I think they may have just ended up saying that when he lost the ball, he was in the act of throwing. I'm not quite so sure that was the case. Let's see on the replay here. Drew was trying to get rid of it a couple of times. Yeah, probably in that case, yeah, they call it incomplete pass. That's one of those where you would need, several replays, and I still don't think everybody would agree on that. 2nd down and 10, Schramm in motion, left to right, Aller being blitzed. Middle screen pass caught at the 20, out to the 22-yard line, and that's really about it. Trying to throw in the space where the blitz was coming, and I think that was Rodak who got the catch, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9, so a very short gain of 1 on that play. Good disguise on that blitz. Wyatt Gedeon was amongst those coming in for the Eagles. So it's 3rd and 9 now for Medina from their own 21. Another blitz coming. Aller throws, pass caught, first down right at the 30-yard line and out to the 31. Michael Rodak, the senior, with the catch. And that's a first down for the Battling Bees on 3rd and long. That time, Medina's offensive line did a good job of sealing off the right to enable Drew Aller to have some room to throw the football, and he picks up the first down. 6:49 to play here in the first. It's a 1-point St. Edward lead, 7-6. Empty backfield for Aller. He'll send a receiver in motion. Here comes a jet sweep heading our direction at the 30 and out to the 35 to the 36-yard line. That is Michael Rodak on the carry. And about a gain of 5 for Michael. It'll be a 2nd down and 5. Giving something different to look at. And when we saw Medina in week 4 against Stowe, they ran 1 or 2 jet sweeps that night. They don't go crazy with it, but it's just enough to keep a defense honest that when we want to run the ball, we can. 2nd and 5. Low snap for Aller. Picks it up, runs left, and falls to the 39-yard line for a gain of 3. And it will bring up a 3rd down and short coming up here. And for St. Edward on the tackle, Dantes Howard, the safety. So 3rd down, it's 3rd down really in 2, let's call it. The first down marker is at the 41, so 3rd and very short, and I think we may actually see Matt Spatney coming into the backfield here with Drew Aller. Over to his right. 3rd and short for Medina from their own 39. They need 2. Aller, fake handoff, fires one over there. It's knocked away, and I don't know if they're going to call an interception. Well, I think they are. I think they're going to say Carlton Landingham came away with the pick, although I'm not sure all the officials agree. It was a deflected pass, and Landingham made a great effort for the ball, dove for it, and it's going to be a 1st down for St. Edward. That is only the 6th interception thrown this year by Aller, and it was just on a simple deflection as he was trying to shoot one over the middle. Eagles with the turnover. They'll take over near midfield at their own 48, leading 7-6. Ramos quickly will call for the ball here from the shotgun. Enovich to his right. Ramos looks to throw, rolling right, stops, fires one deep right. He's got a man open, incomplete inside the 10-yard line to Manning. Oh, he was so wide open, and Ramos dropped it right to him and just couldn't come up with it. 2nd and 10. I can't tell you how close that was. Yeah, that's one when they look at the films tomorrow. It's like, how didn't we make that connection? Goodall goes wide left. Manning will go wide right with Miller. 2nd and 10, St. Edward from their own 48 with a 1-point lead. Here's Zenovich. Ramos will keep it, and he'll cross the 50 on the nice read option and fall forward to the 49-yard line into Medina territory. So it's a gain of 3, and it's 3rd down and 7 now for the Eagles. As Brad Delphia will move to a slot left. And now you've got 2 receivers right. It's a 3rd and 7 for the Eagles from the Medina 49. Ramos has time, shoots one to the right, caught by Miller at the 45, out of bounds at the 44. It's a gain of 5. And it's going to be short of the 1st down. We'll see where they mark this. You're probably looking, they're going to mark it right at the 44, so it's going to be a 4th and 2. And I can't see any way Tom Lombardo's not going to go for this, and the offense will indeed stay on the field. So Manning will go out wide left. You've got Goodall wide right. Tight end Delphia on the slot right. And we've got whistles, and I think somebody wants to talk about it. It's going to be a Medina timeout. 5:11 to go here in the first quarter. And St. Edward facing a 4th and 2 at the Medina Battling Bees 44-yard line. The Eagles lead it 7-6. Danny Enovich with a 1-yard touchdown, but the extra point was good, whereas a 26-yard touchdown pass from Aller to Hensley had an extra point that was not good for Medina, and that's your difference right now in this ball game. During our quarter breaks and when we have an opportunity, we'll update you on the other regional finals going on around Northeast Ohio tonight. In Division II, Region 5, you've got Archbishop Hoban taking on Walsh Jesuit. We just saw the Warriors last week knock out the top-seeded Benedictine Bengals. In Division II, Region 6, you've got, I almost said top-seed Avon. They weren't the top seed, but Avon will take on Toledo Central Catholic tonight, amongst the other games going on. 4th and 2 as we get back to action. Ooh, and I think Medina just jumped off sides. It wasn't a hard count or a hard cadence by Christian Ramos, but he caught Medina a little bit antsy there, and on 4th and 2, move it up 5, and it's a 1st down now for the Eagles at the Medina 39-yard line. Boy, right after, Larry Laird just called a timeout to make sure everybody's on the same page, and you have that happen. All right, so Ramos and the Eagles ready now. 1st and 10 from the Medina 39. The give is to Enovich, running to the right, and he'll go inside the 35 and down to the 34-yard line. Ryan Farrell amongst those on the tackle. And Matt Hamula was also over there for the Battling Bees. By the way, anytime tonight I call Matt Spatney and Matt Hamula for a tackle, I'm going to pay Rick Nolan of the Medina Gazette for calling it a spatula, which is pretty funny. As Ramos will keep it on a little quarterback draw. It was basically a run-pass option there, an RPO, and instead of dumping it out to Enovich, he kept it and ran forward to the 35-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6. Yeah, just a simple RPO there, and Ramos made the decision to go ahead and keep it. As a runner this year, Christian Ramos has averaged nearly 5 yards per carry with 15 touchdowns. He has run for 613 yards, and then he's thrown for 16 touchdowns, so accounted for 31 scores this year and about 2,400 yards of total offense. Ramos now will give to Enovich on 3rd down. He has a big hole for a 1st down inside the 25, inside the 20, and Enovich will be brought down at the 19-yard line. Got 16 yards on that 3rd down, and it'll be a new 1st down now for the Eagles. Quickly to the ball now at the Medina 19, trying to tack on to this 1-point lead. Enovich stands to the right of Ramos. Gets the carry, runs left, and cuts to about the 16-yard line and then brought down at that particular point. So he gets about 3 on that pickup. It'll be 2nd down and a long 7. Eagles will go to the pistol. 3 wide receivers. Enovich to the left of Ramos, gets the carry again, has a big hole inside the 10. He's inside the 5, dives towards the goal line, and he scores. Touchdown, Eagles. Danny Enovich with his 2nd touchdown of this 1st quarter. And on the year, that's 19 touchdowns for the senior back, and he has put St. Edward on top now 13-6 with 3:16 to go here in the 1st quarter. Weston Jonke for the extra point. Ball is down, kick up, on its way, and it is good. 14-6, St. Edward leading Medina here at Byers Field. Eagles have been very opportunistic. They get the Castleberry kick return and convert that to a touchdown. Then you get the interception by Landingham, and you convert that into a touchdown. Nice job so far by the Eagle offense, taking advantage of the breaks and the opportunities that have come their way. And they lead it now by 8 here at Byers Field with 3:16 to go in this opening quarter. But that was a good all-around drive, really, by the Eagles. You know, we saw them, try to throw a long pass, and it seemed to kind of get the defense thinking a little bit of pass, and Danny Enovich suddenly had some wide-open lanes to run the football with, and you get him in the open field, he's fast, and he's got good vision there in the holes too. All right, so here's Lavelle for the kickoff, and this one was going to be returnable actually at the 3-yard line. And I believe that's Jackson out to the 20, stops at the 24, and is going to get pushed back at that particular point. They'll mark it at that 24-yard line, and that is where Drew Aller and the Bees will get started here with 3:07 to go here in this 1st quarter. 14-6. It's St. Edward on a couple of Enovich touchdowns, leading the Medina Battling Bees. Yeah, Enovich now has 21 total touchdowns this year. 2 as a receiver and now 19 as a rusher. From the 24, 1st and 10 now for the Battling Bees. Now trailing by 8. Aller gets the snap. Pressured. Rolls right. In some trouble and gets pushed out of bounds. Well behind the line of scrimmage, back near the 20-yard line. Matthew Molnar had good pressure coming in from his end spot and just kind of had a good foot race with Aller and never let him turn it upfield. They'll mark it back at the 21, which is a generous spot. It's a loss of 3, and for Molnar, essentially, you give him his fifth sack of the year, and it'll be 2nd and 13. Whether it's been Gideon, Kilbane, or Molnar, suddenly now these ends for the Eagles are getting pressure on Aller. 2nd and 13, and here they come again. Drew's in trouble, pumps once. He's going to have to get rid of it. He throws, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. But you have 1, 2, 3 Eagles back there. Kilbane, Molnar, and Zion Freer-Brown was in there as well, the linebacker. They did a good job, did Medina, on that opening drive protecting Aller, but suddenly this offensive line's having some issues here with the ends of St. Edward. And then you throw the wrinkle, you send the linebacker in, and suddenly now you're not able to account for all this pressure. 3rd and 13 for the Battling Bees. Aller looking, fires left side, and nobody home. Had his signals crossed there, I think, with Brennan Schramm. Schramm stopped at the 35, and Aller's expecting him to run down the left sideline, so it's a 3 and out for the Battling Bees. And we will see a punt here. Now, we've seen this year Nick West has done some of the punting, but generally it's been Brennan Schramm handling the duties. And let's see, we'll see who's back there for St. Edward to receive. A lot of times it's been Castleberry, but they may have Riley back there. High snap, it's pulled down, and the punt gets away. It's no hang time on it, and it's going to roll to a dead stop at the 45-yard line. And again, just like on the extra point, pressure on the kicker, and that ends up only being about a 23-yard punt. So again, another opportunity presents itself here for St. Edward, and they've had a couple here in this first quarter. A good kick return set up a touchdown, and interception set up another one, and now a short punt has a short field for the Eagles at the Medina 45-yard line, and they already lead it 14-6. Let's see what Ramos and company want to do here on first down. From the 45, Ramos will roll right. Looking, still looking, throws, and it's incomplete. Miller was the closest man to the football, was thrown out of bounds. Good coverage downfield by the Bees. Keon Johnson was back there on the coverage for Medina, and it'll be a 2nd down and 10. Again, winner of this game will face either Pickerington Central or Upper Arlington in the state semifinals next Friday. And 2 weeks from now, state championship game at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton. As it's a 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line, and Ramos fakes to Enovich, will keep it himself and take it forward for a couple of yards down to the 41. So we'll call a gain of 4, and it'll be a 3rd down and 6. 2:19 and counting to play here in the first quarter. 14-6, St. Edward on top. So ball spotted at the 41. Eagles got to get to the Medina 35 for a first down. They'll tighten up the formation a little bit. Out of the pistol. Ramos gets the snap. Hands. Enovich to the right. Got the first down and a lot more. He's inside the 25 and down near the 21. Still on his feet. Inside the 20 and down to the 15. I thought Enovich was down. He kept going. Tumbled forward for extra yardage. And it's a first down for St. Edward. Danny Enovich picking up right where he left off last week on this field. Boy, tumbles ahead. They may actually spot. That's the 15 they're going to put it at. That's 26 big ones there for Enovich on that gain on 3rd down. He has had a big first quarter already with 2 touchdowns. 1:47 to go here in the first. 14-6, St. Edward. Medina really needs a defensive stand right here. Fake to Enovich. Ramos keeps it, breaks a tackle inside the 10, loses the football, and let's see, I think Medina's got it. They do. The Bees come away with it near the 10-yard line. Oh, Ramos was in the open field and just lost the handle on it. We'll have to go back and check it again. Was it Spatney again? No, this time it was Delac on it. We mentioned at the top, Spatney was the one who got the big forced fumble in the playoff game last year. It was Delac who forced it on that particular play. And a big turnover, and Delac came away with it. A big stand. I just literally had said before the ball was snapped, Medina needed something. Well, they got one there. They come away with the football at their own 8. Aller ready. Pumping once, rolling left, waiting for somebody to get open. He'll tuck it, take it back to the line of scrimmage at the 10, or actually forward to the 10-yard line, and out at about the 11. So short yardage on that play. Medina coming into this game had a turnover margin of plus 26. That was a good hit on Aller, by the way. He just kind of, the big fella, he's 6'5", 230 pounds, kind of said, okay, good hit, but I'm good. 2nd down and 8 from the 10-yard line. And the Bees have an interception, but they've also got a fumble recovery, so they're still plus 26. St. Edward came in with a turnover margin of plus 7. Aller on 2nd down looks to his right and throws low. I think he was trying to get it over to Ben Butler, and it's incomplete, and will set up a 3rd down and 8. Yeah, suddenly in these last couple of throws, Aller and his receivers don't look like they're on the same page. We saw that on the 3rd down pass to Schramm a few moments ago. 14-6, St. Edward leading Medina with 1:20 to go here in the first quarter. On 3rd and long, Aller looks right, throws, and it's incomplete, trying to get it to Schramm at the 20-yard line. Well covered by Carlton Landingham, and it's a 3 and out for Medina. Yeah, suddenly you're just, after that opening 80-yard touchdown drive, you're really seeing the adjustments made by St. Edward. They're getting pressure in Drew Aller's face, especially from the ends, so they're disrupting his rhythm. And suddenly now the wide receivers aren't getting as open as they were on that initial drive as well. So we'll see if we see a better punt this time for Medina. I can't tell if that's Schramm or if that's West here, but they get the kick away, angle to the right. It's going to be caught at the 35-yard line of Medina and down to about the 33, and that was Jack Riley on the catch. There was a flag down as well. We'll check on that. That wasn't Riley. Oh, okay. It was just a mark. Wasn't a flag. Okay. Good catch. I for a second there I saw it was the crazy beanbag, not a penalty flag. The official was had a little extra on that to the 31-yard line off of the return, so no penalty, but good field position again for the Eagles. As Christian Ramos will, on 1st down, give it over to Enovich running left side and looks for the corner and turns it to about the 27-yard line, so he gets 4 on that play. And it'll be a 2nd down. Juwan Jackson amongst those to go over and make the play as we approach 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. 14-6, St. Edward on top. Goodall goes out wide left. You've got Manning over here on our near side with Miller. On 2nd down, Ramos fake handoff, shoots one towards the end zone, has a man wide open, it's caught. That's a touchdown for the Eagles. Boy, that was an easy pitch and catch for St. Edward. I mean, that's about as easy as it gets. Trying to see who actually caught that. I was so excited. It was so wide open. It was unbelievable. 20-6 on the touchdown pass, Ramos. I want to say that was Ryan Miklich on the catch. I'm going to double check on that. Extra point, though, I can tell you for sure, is good. With a minute to play here in this first quarter, St. Edward leading at 21-6. that was just, you run once to Enovich, and you get everybody think and run, and Ramos with a beautiful play-action pass. There it is, touchdown. Thanks for playing. And that was, by the way, that was Ryan Miklich, and I wanted to make sure that's his 5th touchdown catch of the year. It was the first time we had seen him on the field in this first quarter, and well, sure enough, comes through with a big one. So Ramos to Miklich on that touchdown grab, and St. Edward leading at 21-6 with a minute to play here in this opening quarter of this Division I Region I final. I don't think you could have scripted it any better for the Eagles, short of allowing that opening touchdown anyway. This has been pretty much for St. Edward exactly how they wanted to start the game. Scoreboard for you. Hoban leading Walsh 14-7. That game is in the second quarter. Avon shutting out Toledo Central Catholic in Region 6, 14-0. Green and Maslin are tied 7 apiece. That's in the second quarter. Over to Division 3 and Region 9, Chardon leading Dover 14-3 in the second quarter. And in Region 10, West Holmes on top of Holy Name 21-14, also in the second quarter. Drew Aller and company going to work from the 20. Aller rolling right, stops, looking, has no time. Able to break away, makes a nice move at the 20 to the 25. Aller to the 30, 35, and out to the 37-yard line. Fancy footwork by the big fella as he picks up 17 big yards and a much-needed first down after a couple of 3-and-outs in a row for Medina. A couple of nice moves by Aller. It's Coach Franklin at Penn State will like that. You can throw, and that's great, but especially we see this in the Big Ten. You got to have at least the ability to work your way out of trouble, and Aller did that. This time he's got time to throw. Back shoulder for Schramm, and it's incomplete at the 50-yard line. Dantes Howard over there on the coverage. 27 seconds to play here in this first quarter. 21-6 in favor of St. Edward. Kyan Mason was over there on coverage as well. So it's a 2nd and 10. Here's Aller rolling left, throwing left, looking for Jackson, and it's incomplete. And I tell you, the coverage back there was about as good from Carlton Landingham as you can get, almost to the point where Jawan Jackson had to turn himself back to being a defensive back to prevent Landingham from getting his 2nd interception of the quarter. Incomplete, 3rd down and 10. Now, Landingham has been impressive so far. Covering, they're basically putting him out against the deep receiver on the left side, on our near side, whether it's Schramm or Jackson, and basically saying prevent the long pass, and he's already got an interception tonight. 3rd and 10 for the Battling Bees. Here's Aller. Time. And before he can go to throw, we've got a stoppage in play and flags everywhere. And that's not a beanbag. That's actually a penalty flag. We'll see what the call is. Dead ball, and it's going to be a false start against the Battling Bees. 18 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and now it'll be a 3rd and 15 for Medina and move it back to their own 32. Boy, everything in this first quarter started out so well for Medina, and I mean, that Joel Castleberry kick return really kind of changed the feeling and the tempo of this game for them. Here's Aller. Looks, fires, Schramm on the middle screen at the 35, gets back to the 39-yard line, but well short of the first down as he's brought down at the 40. They had Kilbane and Gideon, both of the ends, knifing in. So, of course, when you do that, you try to throw to the middle where the spot's open. But St. Edward read that play beautifully, and they held it to a gain of 7, and it'll be a 4th down and 8. And that will do it, by the by, for the first quarter. So Medina will punt it away after switching fields at the end of this first quarter. That was quite first quarter by St. Edward. You know, you talk about team football. Well, you know, they've gotten 2 touchdown runs for Danny Enovich, a Ramos to Miklich touchdown pass. They've gotten an interception from their defense. And also, let's see, as we got the stats here. Thank you, everybody. Here you go, guys. If you want to check the stats here for Vince. Oh, yeah, I'll let you see. I'll hand this over if you need it. Okay, cool. Yeah, first quarter numbers as far as total offense, 138 to 122, St. Edward to Medina. Drew Aller, he's 8 of 18 for 95 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Ramos, 2 of 4, 30 yards and a touchdown. And Danny Enovich in the first quarter, 10 carries for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, in each team with a turnover, time of possession, pretty much even. I mean, you know, you look at the stats and you'd say, boy, we should be a tight game. But, you know, you get the good kick return by Castleberry, and you get a couple of good field position exchanges for St. Edward, and that's why they've got this lead, 21-6, and they're about to get the ball back. We mentioned, by the way, we were reading those scores that Tyler Carey gave us. Interesting to note how the OHSAA is going to proceed with the Division II state semis. If Avon wins against Toledo Central Catholic, they'll play either Hoban or Walsh next Friday. If Toledo Central Catholic wins tonight, they could rally and win. That means the Hoban-Walsh winner will play the Green-Maslin winner. It's 4th and 8, and the Battling Bees are going to go for it at their own 39-yard line. 10 on the play clock, down to 8 from their own side, down. Let's see, as they have a man in motion on 4th and 8. Aller looks, throws, and pass is caught. Schramm's got it right at the marker. And I think actually where they're going to spot it at the 47-yard line, it should be enough for a first down. Wow. I'm not surprised that Medina went for it. I mean, Larry Laird has always been a gambler, and understanding he did not want to punt the football back to the Eagles. So they go for it on their side of the field, the Bees do, and they execute and get the first down. Aller to Schramm. From the 47, Aller to the right. He has got Ben Butler with the catch into Eagle territory to the 42-yard line. And now suddenly, you get the feeling now the Bees are back in rhythm a little bit. They get the completions and then quickly get back on the line before defense can get set. And they got that rhythm back, you feel like a little bit. 11:15 to go here in this first half. As Aller's pass is going to be incomplete. Thrown over on the right side. As I think he was trying to get it over here to Rodak. And as Rodak was trying to pull it in, Dantes Howard separated him from the football. Howard's had a good first half here. We'll call his number a couple of times. 2nd down and 10. 3 receivers there, trips to the left, 2 receivers right. And Aller, time, fires, deep, left, catch made, and then couldn't hold on a diving route inside the 15-yard line. Aller's throw couldn't have been more on the money on a timing route along the left sideline, but the receiver tried to make basically had to make a diving catch, and when he went down, the ball kind of body and ball hit the turf, incomplete. That was a heck of an effort, though, on all sides. Trying to get it to Jawan Jackson, which is always a good idea, but it's now a 3rd down and 10. Didn't miss him by much. But we saw Jawan Jackson, as we're going to have a timeout taken. We were with Medina at Stowe in week 4 back in early September, and that timeout's going to be taken by St. Edward, by the way. And, we saw Jawan Jackson execute a 92-yard touchdown catch. Anytime you get him in the open field, that's a good idea. And they are trying a timing route along that left sideline, and Aller just dropped an absolute dime there, and Jackson ran under it with that great speed and just couldn't quite make that tumbling catch. So where it is now, it's a 3rd down and 10 for the Battling Bees at the Eagle 42. And, Coach Laird already went for it on 4th and 8 back on his side of the field. So, it's going to be 4-down territory here as long as there's not any kind of a significant loss. Again, 3 receivers left, 2 to the right here for the Medina Battling Bees. 3rd and 10 from the Eagle 42. Aller, pressured, hit, in trouble, down he goes, back on the Medina side of the field at the 48-yard line. Just as we talked about, that would be something they would not want to have happen. C.J. Harvey was in there, Michael Kilbane was in there, that defensive line, and they're going to force the punt. As it'll be 4th down. They actually marked it. I'm surprised. They marked Aller down at the 48 of St. Edward. I thought he actually was down on the 48 of Medina, but that's not what the officials saw. But it's to the point where Coach Laird's going to say, let's punt it away. Now 4th and 16. And here comes a punt. It's not Brennan Schramm, by the way, punting the football. And it's going to be picked up at about the 15-yard line and be run out there. The punter tonight for Medina is Jack Wojak, I believe, number 85. So, I think last week they may have had Nick West do the punting. So it's not Schramm who's their usual punter. But that time the punt was pretty good, and it pins St. Edward back to their own. We're going to spot this at about the 12-yard line or so. 10:14 to play, first half. 21-6. Eagles on top of the Battling Bees. And Christian Ramos, this is he gets the snap. We've got whistles. I think somebody said it. You may have heard 12 men on the field against Medina. It's tough enough. You're down in this game 21-6, and then, pre-snap penalties like that just absolutely drive you crazy. So you move it up now to the 17, and it'll be a 1st and 5 for the Eagles. Ramos ready, and he'll send his receiver, Miller, in motion. Miller will get it on the jet sweep. Miller runs right, gets the 1st down, and he'll go on the wide side out to the 23. Needed 5, got about 6, and that's a 1st down for the Eagles. That's the 14th carry this year for Jackson Miller. And now with 93 rushing yards to go with his receiving totals this year. Miklich and Connor Goodall will go out wide left here. Receiver right for the Eagles. 1st and 10 now. And Ramos will fake the jet sweep, keep it himself, and fall forward for a couple to about the 24-yard line. And it'll be a 2nd down and long from there. It's Medina. Andrew Delac was again there on the tackle. Got that fumble recovery earlier in this half. Andrew with 6 TFLs and 2.5 sacks this year, plus an interception. 3 of the 4 starting defensive linemen this year for Medina have an interception. 2nd down and 9. And we've got a stoppage in play and a timeout taken by the Eagles. They have 1 timeout remaining. Medina has 2 timeouts remaining. Yeah, Ryan Farrell has an interception. Nick Manley has an interception. Now, Matt Spatney does not have an interception, but Spatney has 14 tackles for a loss and 7.5 sacks. Yeah, it's a pretty good year. And Matt Hamula, 4 interceptions, 4 TFLs, 1.5 sacks. I love guys who, for both teams, and you look at St. Edward's defense, who have multiple defensive categories. Wyatt Gideon has 7.5 sacks. He's got an interception, 8 tackles for a loss. Michael Kilbane, 11.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 8 TFLs. Love guys who fill the stat sheets. Let you know, they're not just making plays, in passing situations, but they're causing havoc every time, everywhere. 2nd and 9 as we resume action out of that timeout for St. Edward. Ramos pumps once, has time, fires deep left side. Goodall has it at the 40-yard line. And Medina tried to strip it away from him, couldn't do it, and knock him out of bounds at the 46. That's a gain of 22 on the Ramos connection to Goodall. Christian Ramos has thrown the ball very, very well here in this first half. He's got a touchdown pass to Ryan Miklich. And he almost had another one to Rayshawn Manning. Ball up now to the Eagle 45. They lead 21-6 to St. Edward with 8:49 to go in the first half. And Ramos gets that low snap, fakes to Enovich, keeps it on the read option, goes across the 45 and out near the 49-yard line. It was a good decision there by Christian Ramos because that snap was low and it wasn't worth it to give to Enovich. Better to keep it and just kind of take what you can get. And ended up getting about 4 yards on the play. 2nd down and 6. And, I mean, compared to the air raid offense of Medina, I mean, St. Edward's offense isn't flashy, but boy, they're just very methodical and very effective. Ramos, though, is going to get sacked back at the 40-yard line. Andrew Delac comes in and makes the play back to the 39-yard line. Just I talked about the effectiveness of the offense. Delac came in and comes up with another big defensive play for the Battling Bees. Move it all the way back to the 40 now and make it a 3rd and 15. Yeah, and it's funny. It's almost been on cue. Whenever Medina has needed a big defensive play, Delac has come through. And if it's not Delac, it'll be Spatney. If it's not Spatney, it's Hamula. The Bees are going to need some offense to go with this defense. Down 21-6. 3rd and long. 3rd and 15. Ramos throws to the right. Pass is caught. As Manning's got it just shy of the first down marker. Isaiah Perry on the coverage. Back into Medina territory at the 47-yard line. It's going to be a 4th down. And we'll call it 2. So it'll be 4th and 2 from the Battling Bees. 47-yard line. Nice pitch and catch there, Ramos to Manning. You know, they didn't get the first down, but makes it a very easy decision for Coach Lombardo. Manning and Goodall will go out wide left. Martin will be tight, or Miller, I should say, will be tight on the left. 4th and 2. Ramos will keep it. Tries a pop pass. He's got it to Miller, but it's going to be short of the first down. Tried to get just maybe a little too cute there, and it was well read by the Bees defense. I think that was Keon Johnson and Ryan Farrell who shut down that pass, didn't let Miller coming in motion get free, and the Battling Bees will take over near midfield. It's a good defensive stop there by Medina. Yeah, it's one of those where, you know, maybe it's just you sit there and say, well, if it works, it's you're a genius. But you know, maybe on 4th and short, you just want to give to Enovich and see what happens. And instead, Medina will take over now at their own 47. Aller with 5 wide receivers. And he'll send a man in motion going left to right. Drew will keep it, runs to the 50, and springs ahead to about the 47 of the Eagles. So he'll get about 6 on that gain. It'll be 2nd down and 4. And Aller's been pretty successful as a runner tonight. And when they've needed positive yardage, when the passing game has been out of sync, Drew's been able to do it. Gets that snap on 2nd down, throws left back shoulder throw. It is caught. Hensley's got it. 1st down inside the 30, down to the Eagle 27-yard line or so. That'll be another 1st down. Actually, mark it at the 28. Gain of 19 on that play, and the Battling Bees are marching with 6:30 to go in the 2nd quarter. They trail 21-6. Aller has 3 receivers on his right, 2 to the left. Aller looking left, firing left. Again, looking for a back shoulder, and it's incomplete. That time he was looking for Jackson down that left sideline, but it was well covered by the Eagles. It'll be second down. Medina struck first on an Aller to Hensley touchdown pass, missed the extra point, and St. Edward then put 21 unanswered on the board. A couple of Enovich touchdown runs and a Ramos to Miklich touchdown pass. Medina trying to draw closer here in the second quarter. 6:13 to play. Down 21-6. Second and 10. Aller looking. Able to get out of traffic for a moment, and then he gets dropped back at the 31-yard line. And just when he thought he was going to be able to break through, Aller got put down for a loss of 2. They're going to actually mark it at the 30-yard line, and it'll be a 3rd down and 12. I think that was Kilbane on that stack. Yeah, defensive line for the Eagles, so talented. We call all their numbers here tonight. 3rd down and now 12. Aller shoots one over the middle, pass deflected and almost intercepted again. It was a high throw. He was looking for Michael Rodak, who's slow to get up back at the 20-yard line. And that high throw, Rodak wasn't able to come up with it, and it was almost intercepted. A similar play to the Landingham interception in the first quarter. And now 4th and 12 at the 30 of St. Edward. And Medina will keep the offense on the field and go for it. Well, this is, yeah, that's a throw Drew would like to have back because Rodak was open. An accurate pass probably gets him the first down, but it was a high throw. And instead now it's 4th and 12. Larry Laird will take a timeout. Medina has 1 remaining, as does St. Edward here in this first half. Gotcha, thanks. 5:33 to play here in the second quarter at Byers Field in Parma. The Division I Region I final. St. Edward, the top seed in this region. Medina, the 2 seed. And Eagles with a 21-6 lead over the Battling Bees. Winner will likely head somewhere either Mansfield or Ashland. I think a lot of times they've played this game. They've played the game in Ashland next Friday in the state semis against either Upper Arlington or Pickerington Central. If you're wondering, I would plan for us next Friday, for Black Friday, for a state semifinal. We'll have a Division II state semifinal. I can't guarantee anything, but that's pretty much what we're looking right now. Either Avon against Hoban or Walsh Jesuit, or Hoban and Walsh Jesuit, one of those 2 teams against Maslin or Green, depending on how things play out tonight. Out of the timeout, 4th and 12, Medina at the St. Edward 30. Aller sends a man in motion. He's got 5 wide, has time, looks towards the end zone. It is incomplete, broken up. Well, Medina wants a flag. They're not going to get it. Looking for Jawan Jackson, who's just howling at the officials right now and won't get the call, and it will be St. Edward taking over. And again, it was Carlton Landingham with good coverage for the Eagles. He has been terrific tonight in the secondary. He's taken away the long passes to Schramm and Jackson. And on the turnover on downs, St. Edward will take over at their own 30 with 5:27 to go in the first half. Eagles leading at 21-6. Ramos ready, and on first down, back on the ground to Enovich. Been a while since we've called Danny's number, and he'll get about 5 on first down to the 35. As Nick Manley makes the tackle for the Battling Bees, 2nd down and 5. And keep in mind, Medina won the toss and elected to receive, so St. Edward will start the second half with the football. If they get a sustained drive here, they could really play keep away if they want to. 2nd and 5, Enovich again, and this time he's going to go nowhere. Maybe on the hit, he may have fallen forward for about a half yard, but that's about a good defensive stop that time by the defensive front for the Battling Bees. And it'll be 3rd down and long coming up here. 3rd down and about 9. Actually, I'm sorry, no, 3rd down and 4 after that first initial game. Preston Pennington amongst those on the stop. So it was just to correct myself, it was a 2nd and 6 on that previous play, not a 2nd and 9. Ramos on 3rd and 4, hit as he throws, but he completes the pass at the 45-yard line to Rayshawn Manning. Gets the first down. Isaiah Perry was over there on coverage along with Pennington, but it's enough for a first down. That was a good job by Christian Ramos standing tall there. He knew he was going to take the hit, and he delivered an accurate pass to Manning. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, 21-6 St. Edward. With a fresh set of downs now, the Eagles at their own 45. Ramos fakes the handoff, throws back to the right. Miller's got it at the 50 to the 45, first down 40, and knocked out of bounds at the 36-yard line of Medina. Just on a quick little wide receiver screen on the bubble screen to the right, Jackson T. Miller did a good job running after the catch. But having said that, there was a reason why he got to the outside, and it's because there was a holding against the Eagles. So that nullifies what would have been a first down pickup and a lot more on the throw to Miller. So they'll move it. It's 10 yards from the spot, and they move it back now to the Eagle 44. So it's going to be 1st and 11. So from a yards, in terms of the field position standpoint, you don't really lose a lot with that penalty. 1st and 11, and they'll go on the ground. Anovich trying to turn the corner, cuts back in at the 50. Nice piece of running to the 48 of Medina and down to near the 47. That's a great run by Danny Anovich. The outside wasn't there when he thought it was, and he, at the last second, cut it in and was able to get those extra yards. Picks up 7 on that play. When he very easily, if he had kept going to the outside, he may have been stopped in his tracks after about 2 or 3. It's a little play, but you get 5 yards, and now it's 2nd and 3, and the playbook is much more favorable for Coach Lombardo and company. Ramos, fake handoff, wants to throw, has time, looks deep to the right, and it's incomplete at the 10-yard line for Jackson T. Miller. Looking for a flag, and he's not going to get one. And he was looking for a flag from Jawan Jackson, who was looking for the similar play a couple of moments ago on the other side of the field. Well, at least for Jawan, he could take some solace in knowing, okay, it's not just me. None of us are happy with calls. 3rd and 3 for the Eagles with 2:59 to go here in the second quarter. Both teams, after that long pass, make some substitutions. Ramos will go to Anovich. Swings to the right, but will not get to the first down marker. Good stand by the Bees. Keon Johnson leading the charge there, and they put him down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down and 3 from the Medina 48 for St. Edward. Clock still moving. We're under 2:40 to go here in the first half. Tom Lombardo sends Christian Ramos in with a play, so Eagles are going to go for it. Medina can get the ball back here with their offense. Near midfield, you'd have plenty of time. Manning out wide left. You've got 2 wings on each side. Ramos will quickly go under center. I think he's trying to draw Medina off here. Yep, then play clock just ran out. So, yeah, that time Medina does a good job of staying disciplined and not committing the offsides. St. Edward will use their final timeout. So you don't get the draw off here now, and you can think about, okay, it's 4th and 3. It's our last timeout, but if we want to go for it here, here's what we're going to do. And yeah, I don't see any signs that they're not going to the punt. That they're going to the punt team here, at least not at this moment. But that could change. I still see Manning in there, and I still see Goodall in there, and I still see Martin in there. So. Yeah, it looks like we're Miller in there. So, yeah, they're going to go ahead and still go for this, despite not getting the Bees to jump off sides. So we reset here, 4th and 3 for St. Edward at the right hash at the Medina 48-yard line. With 2:08 to go in the first half, St. Edward 21, Medina 6. Ramos to the shotgun. He's got Enovich to his left. 2 receivers tight on the right. Well, now he backpedals here, maybe trying a quick kick. That's exactly what they're going to do here. Quick kick. Ball will drop inside the 20, inside the 15, inside the 10, and it'll roll to a dead stop at about the 8-yard line. That's a fine punt by Christian Ramos on the quick kick. And Medina will take over at their own 8 with 1:57 to go in the first half. Yeah, the good news for the Bees, they get the stop and the ball back. The bad news is they've got to go 92 yards for a touchdown anyway, and they've only got 1:57 to work with and only 1 timeout. But every time you might have gotten the feeling that, well, St. Edward might be on the threshold of really, giving themselves some separation in this game with another scorer. Medina's been able to kind of slam the door on a couple of occasions here. Now let's see if the offense can go to work here on first down. Aller, out of a sample formation, just kind of was trying to go back and throw just on a simple drop back and ended up getting sacked by Gideon. Well, actually, there'll be no gain. I take that back. He was able to fall forward to the 8-yard line, but basically they were going almost in a pro look there. Didn't fool St. Edward at all. 2nd down and 10. Aller this time back to their air raid here. He'll complete it out to the 10-yard line to Schramm, and that's about it. And he's brought down by C.J. Harvey. They'll actually go to the 11, and it's now a 3rd down and 6, or 3rd down and 7, I should say. Remember, St. Edward has no timeouts remaining, so they used their final timeout on that punt situation earlier. So we're down to a minute to play here. 3rd down and 7. From the 11, here's Aller to throw. Gideon coming, he throws, pass caught. Schramm's got it at the 30-yard line. That's a 1st down. That will give Medina some breathing room with 47 seconds to go. Now the ball will go to the 31-yard line. So now you just kind of, okay, you can take a deep breath, and now, again, you've got a timeout to work with you for the Battling Bees, plus if you get first downs, clock will stop to move the chains. So you give yourself an opportunity here, at least maybe for a Hail Mary at the very least. 5 wide here for Aller. Steps up, fires deep left side for Jackson. It's incomplete, a little bit high, but he was well covered there on the far side. And it'll be a 2nd down and 10. Clock stops with 42 seconds to go. Yeah, St. Edward, amongst the things, Gideon and Kilbane have done a great job getting pressure on Aller, but the secondary has done a fine job to this point as well. 2nd and 10, Aller looking, throwing to the right this time for Butler, and it's incomplete. And a late flag comes down, and they're going to say Hayden Rice, playing in coverage against Butler, reached in. And the problem is the tardiness of the penalty as much as anything else. The two teams are like walking back towards their respective huddles, and then suddenly the flag comes out, and that's why, as much as anything else, why you sometimes get the anxiety there. Move it up now to the 46-yard line, and a 1st down now for the Battling Bees with 38 seconds to go. Again, 5 wide receivers for Drew Aller and company, ready to go from their own 46. 1st down. Aller shoots it over the middle, incomplete and intercepted at the 40-yard line, went through the hands of Jawan Jackson, and it was intercepted over here on the near side. I think it was Landingham again. Absolutely it was. Wow, 2nd interception of this first half thrown by Drew Aller, and that one was not his fault per se because it went off the hands of his receiver. And now with 33 seconds to go, I would think St. Edward will be happy to just head into the locker room with a 21-6 lead. Boy, their timing is just, I mean, St. Edward's defense so far tonight has been outstanding against this Medina attack. Ramos looks on first down, throws to the right, and that ball's almost intercepted. Trying to get it to Goodall. He underthrew it, and it was very nearly intercepted by take that back. It wasn't by Cam Drury, it was by Keon Johnson. Flip the flip card there, young man. Johnson almost had his 5th interception of the season. 28 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd and 10. So much for my assumption that the Eagles will be happy just to go to the locker room with the lead. Now, Ramos is going to go to a knee. Well, you took the risk. You said, okay, let's see if we can get one into the Medina side of the field and maybe try to get yourself in a position to challenge for a score. And after that particular sequence, Tom Lombardo said, no, we're good. We're going to go into the locker room with a 15-point lead. So we have reached halftime at Byers Field in Parma. Had a little bit of everything in this one. We were delayed in starting a little bit because of a light failure over on the west side of the stadium. And once we got started, Medina took the opening kick and went for a touchdown. But since then, it was all St. Edward, and they lead at the half 21-6 in this Division I Region I final, with the winner moving on to the state semis next week. We will step away and let you enjoy the bands. I think we've got bands all over the place here for tonight. The Medina Battling Bees marching band is getting themselves set up, so we'll let you enjoy that. We'll come back. We'll have halftime stats, and we will also take a look at the scoreboard from around high school football in Northeast Ohio on Regional Final Friday and let you know what else is happening around the area. But for now, here at Byers Field at the break, it's St. Edward 21 and Medina 6 on the WKYC High School Football Game of the Week, presented as always by Chick-fil-A. Enjoy halftime, everyone.
Baseball is fun because the labor leaders on both sides they can sometimes be very inflexible. But I think if anybody remembers their history, remembers how bad the 94 or 95 lockout was. Yeah, we were one of those. Yes, we were. And in this case, you can't, Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, that's part of the course. Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, yeah. They can see because on the flip side, they're watching, they're watching and listening to it on our YouTube live. They can, yeah. Somebody said they saw you. They're like, yeah. Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, it's not, yeah, you're not on, yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the Medina Battling Bees marching band here at Byers Field as we welcome you back inside the press box here at Byers Field. I'm Dave DiNatalia. It's our WKYC high school football game of the week, the Division I Region 1 title game. Winner will move on to the Final Four next week. And, again, anybody behind me wants to say hi, wave to everybody, please jump on in. But it's good to have everybody with us, both watching, listening. Yeah, jump on in. Watching, listening, saying hi wherever you are around the world here and around the area here. Good to have everybody. I understand it's our biggest audience watching and listening this year. Oh, very nice. So far it's been all St. Edward. They lead at 21-6 at the break. Let's take a look at the first half numbers from the game here. As far as offense team numbers went, St. Edward had 206 yards of total offense in the first half to 181 for Medina. And, of course, most of that for Medina is going to be through the air. But Drew Aller, 13 of 31 passing for 155 yards, 1 touchdown pass, 2 interceptions, and both were on deflections, and they both were to Carlton Landingham for the Eagles. I mean, he's been the recipient of both of those deflections, and he's made the most of them. Your leading receiver for the Battling Bees, Drew Hensley, has 4 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. Brennan Schramm, 6 catches for 49 yards. Michael Rodak, 2 catches for 30 yards. And just something to watch, Jawan Jackson's been targeted 4 times already and is yet to be able to come up with a catch. The coverage on him has been terrific tonight. And, I mean, listen, Tom Lombardo and his staff, you watch enough films and you watch what Jawan Jackson can do in the open field, right away you got to figure out a way to keep him from getting the ball. And to this point, they've done that. As far as turnovers in this game, Medina has had 2 interceptions. St. Edward fumbled once. And let's see, penalties, 3 for 14 yards for Medina, 2 for 25 for St. Edward. And St. Ed had 2 sacks, 1 for Medina in the first half. For the Eagles, on the ground, they ran the ball as a team 23 times for 133 yards, averaging about 6 yards a carry. Danny Enovich already over the century mark, 14 carries for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging 7 yards a carry thus far. Christian Ramos has looked good throwing the ball tonight for St. Edward's, 7 of 11 for 82 yards and a touchdown pass. That touchdown pass to Ryan Miklich. But Rayshawn Manning has 2 catches for 22 yards. Jackson T. Miller, 3 catches for 14 yards in the football game. Let's see, any other numbers here to pass on. That kick return, and I would say one of the key plays of the first half, the kick return by Joel Castleberry for St. Edward, that was a 72-yard kick return. It came right on the heels of Medina taking the opening kickoff and moving the ball down 80 yards for the touchdown. Castleberry responds with the 72-yard kick return, and that set the Eagles up on a short field. They scored there and really didn't look back from that particular point. Both Dwight Harvey and Michael Kilbane had sacks in the first half for the Eagles. And then, as we mentioned, the 2 interceptions by Landingham. Actually, the sack for Medina, I thought it went to Andrew Delac. It actually went to Jesse Ray. So credit Ray with Medina's lone sack of the first half. And when you add it all up, it is a 21-6 advantage for St. Edward. And remember, Medina, and I'm not surprised by this, when you have the offense that scores 40-plus points a game and, puts up more than 400 yards of total offense for a game. I mean, Larry Laird wants to take the ball and score and take the opening kickoff and score, which is exactly what they did. The negative side of it is that St. Edward will start with the second half getting the kickoff. So that's certainly something to keep an eye on. Every time that you've gotten the feeling that, it's a 15-point lead. It's a two-possession game. Medina's right where they need to be. The camera's actually not focusing on you guys. Sorry, kids. I have kids in front of me trying to pose for the camera. Unfortunately, they don't realize, no, the camera's on me, guys. Sorry about it. Maybe next time. The winner of this game will move on and play either Upper Arlington or Pickerington Central next week in the state semis. And I said probably Ashland or Mansfield. That's customarily where they do that game. Upper Arlington in the lead over Pickerington Central, 14-7. That game's now in the third quarter. The other regional finals involving Northeast Ohio teams, they've gone to the third quarter with Hoban leading Walsh 28-17. Also in the third quarter, Avon leading Toledo Central Catholic 21-7. In the third quarter, Massillon has taken a 14-13 lead over Greene. And over to Division III in Region 9, Chardon leads Dover 24-3, and West Holmes on top of Holy Name 24-21. So to set up those other matchups for you, if Avon defeats Toledo Central Catholic in Region 6, then the Eagles will play either Hoban or Walsh next Friday in the state semi. And that game possibly could be here or Brunswick. I would probably, that would be my guess. Somebody wants to ask me, okay, where do you think the game would be played? Probably in one of those two venues. I can't imagine. That's normally where those games are played. I wouldn't imagine that it would be anywhere else beside that. Could be. Saying anything is possible, but that would be my guess. If Toledo Central Catholic rallies and beats Avon and captures that Region 6 crown, that would mean the Hoban-Walsh winner would play the Massillon-Greene winner in Division 2. So you're looking at, again, that's probably, if the people down in Canton would allow it, that would be potentially Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium hosting a game like that. And again, our plans, nothing's official, but our plan, at least at this point, would probably be to do one of those two Division II state semifinal, scenarios, either Avon against Walsh or Hoban, or Walsh-Hoban against the winner of Massillon-Greene. At least that's kind of how we've sketched it out right now. We'll see how things play themselves out over the next couple of days. But most important thing right now, as the two teams get warmed up and ready to get going for the second half, is St. Edward leading 21-6 in this Division I Region I final over Medina. If you want some history, and I thought this was interesting as I was getting ready for this game and thinking about the context of all of this. You look at St. Edward, and they're this is the team that has won 4 state championships in the last 11 years, 2010, 2014, 2015, and 2018. We were down there for that 2018 game in our first year of doing the game of the week here on WKYC.com. There is it's as blue blood as you can get in terms of a team that's a Division I, Region I, absolute given almost. St. Ignatius is another one. Menor is another one. In fact, you have to go back to 2009 to find a year where one of those three teams I just mentioned, St. Edward, Menor, or St. Ignatius, was not the Division I, Region I champion. That year it was Glenville in 2009. So Medina's trying to, not just do something they've never done in program history, but, in this century, in this kind of, even in this last decade, what the Eagles and the Cardinals and the Wildcats have done, and particularly in this context, what St. Edward has done, with those 4 state championships since 2010, you establish that dominance in a region, and Medina's trying to kind of break through and become a new Division I, Region I power, and that's what was coming into tonight. They really had felt all year long that they were ready. They knocked out both St. Edward and St. Ignatius in the playoffs last year. We just talked about Avon in Division II. Medina took care of Avon 34-17 when they played in week 2, and then they beat Stowe in week 4, and everybody said, "Wow, this Medina team's for real." And they strung together a 13-0 season, and everybody said, "Boy, can anybody stop that Medina offense? Can anybody stop it?" Well, to this point, St. Edward has certainly done so, and their defense has come in, and they, as you think about it, they put pressure on Drew Aller without having to blitz. They've let the ends, Gideon and Kilbane, have done a lot of the damage. And the other thing has been the secondary coverage against these wide receivers. They've been physical, and they've stuck to them. Carlton, Landingham, Riley, Castleberry, Drury, Howard. We called Dantes Howard's number a couple of times. They've done a terrific job in that secondary. And, Aller has not, except for that opening drive, and maybe there was one little sequence in the second quarter, Drew has not looked like he's been in rhythm with his receivers. And that's really, to me, that's a product of what St. Edward has done tonight against this passing game. So now it will be St. Edward's turn, though, to get the football to start this second half and see if they can't pad their lead a little bit. They've got a 2-possession lead at 21-6. And let's see if they can't stretch it out a little bit more. And the thing to watch again is, we'll see them kick it off here. You've got already 2 guys for St. Edward who have multiple kick returns for touchdowns this year. Landingham has 3, Mason has 2, and Castleberry just ran one back for 72 yards earlier in this game tonight. So, you're looking back there at those guys, and I'm watching all 3 there. Again, Mason's in the middle. You got Castleberry over to our far left, and Landingham's to the right. Pick your poison. Sometimes, and I've said this a couple times this year, I think you're better just kicking it out of bounds and starting at the 35. We just saw that last week in the game we did with Walsh Jesuit and Benedictine. Sometimes it's just, you sit there and say, it's not worth it. Too much of a risk. Walsh Jesuit gambled and kicked to Benedictine. Let's see, they're gonna kick it here on the ground, but it's gonna go through everybody and on a bunch of hops and into the end zone for a touchback. Well, that's one way to do it. You keep it low, you keep it on the ground with a lot of hops, and you don't allow anybody to pick it up before it goes into the end zone. So, touchback. Ball will go to the 20-yard line, and well done there by West. So, Christian Ramos and company will start from the 20. And Ramos had a good first half throwing the football, a touchdown pass to Ryan Miklich. And Danny Yanovich already over the century mark running the football. 14 carries, 102 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. He stands to Ramos's right with a 1st and 10 here to start this second half. St. Edward leading at 21-6. As Ramos will go on the ground on 1st down, he'll give to Yanovich. He'll run to the right out to the 25-yard line for a gain of 5. It'll be a 2nd and 5 coming up over on the far side. Andrew Delac there from his end spot to make the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Delac and Spatney on the ends. And we haven't called Matt Spatney's number a lot here tonight. I'd like to see him get in there and make a few plays, I'm sure, for Medina. Yanovich will get the carry on 2nd down. This time he goes nowhere. And I don't know if it was Spatney who made the tackle, but I did see them there on the pile. I saw Delac there with Manley as well. And they're actually going to mark it back to the 24, so it'll make it a 3rd down and about 6. As Rayshawn Manning will check in at wide receiver. And he'll go out to the far side right. Goodall will go to the left. Delphia there on the slot in a bunch for you. Actually, they've got 3 in a bunch over there on the left, including Delphia. 3rd down and about 6. Ramos, little student body left on the keeper, out to the 25 to the 31st down. He's to the 40, down the right sideline and out of bounds near midfield. They're going to spot him out at the St. Edward 49-yard line. That is a gain of 25 yards for Christian Ramos on 3rd down. Boy, once he was able to kind of spring it to the outside, he really took off. Big, big gain for Christian Ramos on third down. And again, we talked about it before the game. He averages 5 yards per carry. He's a good runner at the quarterback position. 10:46 to go in the third quarter, 21-6. St. Edward leading, and they're on the march again. Ramos throws right, looking, and the pass is deflected and almost intercepted. Was looking for Jackson T. Miller. He's well covered there over on the right by Isaiah Perry. Perry almost came away with a pick. Second down and 10 at the 49-yard line here in this third quarter. Watching Juwan Jackson over here on the far side. They got him matched up against Rayshawn Manning. Goodall will go out wide right. And it'll be a pistol formation here on 2nd and 10 as Enovich will stand behind quarterback Christian Ramos. From their own 49, Enovich will get the carry, runs to the right, gets to the 50, and then immediately gets shoved back. Once he got that 1 yard gain, Matt Spatney must have heard me because he just made a huge hit there. After the 1 yard gain, it'll be third down and 9. Yeah, Spatney has been fun to watch over the last couple of years that we've had a chance to do these Medina games. You know, if you say, okay, what's one word to describe him? Disruptive. And moving him around, he's almost at a linebacker spot right now. Third down and 9 at midfield for St. Edward. As Ramos shoots one over the middle, pass, caught and then dropped at the 38-yard line. Miklich had it trying to pull it in, and I think Matt Hamula was able to help separate receiver from ball. It'll be 4th and 9 from midfield, and Tom Lombardo will send in the punt team. So after the 25-yard run by Christian Ramos, Medina able to come up with a stop here, and Juwan Jackson will stand in single safety at the 10-yard line to await the punt from Ben Lavelle. Lavelle averaging about 36 yards per punt. They're going to fake it, and it's going to be a run to the right and a first down to the 40 to the 35-yard line. Jackson T. Miller. Little student body. There's basically Miller. The up man caught that snap, ran it to the left, had plenty of room, picks up 15 yards on a 4th down and 9. Yeah, again, they needed to get to the 41 for a first down, or I think the 42. Boy, what a great call. Tom Lombardo saying that we want to keep the ball. Jackson T. Miller executes the run on the fake punt, and now from the 35, Enovich gives to Miller on a flea flicker. Back to Ramos. Man wide open at the 5 and a touchdown for St. Edward on the flea flicker. Wow. You just sit there and you go, wow. Ryan Miklich with his 2nd touchdown catch of the game. That was an absolute, it took a while for for everything to develop on the reverse and then the flea flicker, but just that extra time of going, okay, where's the ball? Ramos was able to kind of swing himself to the right. Here's the extra point. It's up, and it's good. And Miklich was able to find a soft spot down the right side and was wide open for the touchdown. And you may have heard somebody behind me just say kind of made up for not holding on to that ball earlier on that St. Edward possession. And Ryan Miklich has 2 touchdown catches tonight. And St. Edward now with a 28-6 lead with 9:44 to play in the third quarter. I mean, back-to-back razzle-dazzle. You do the fake punt, and then before anybody can kind of recover, St. Edward does the flea flicker on the reverse. And it results in the touchdown. And now it's 28-6. Puts Medina really squarely in a comeback mode right now. As Lavelle will kick it off. And Jackson will make the running catch at the 10-yard line. Drops the football at the 20. He's going to roll under it, and he'll get it at the 22-yard line. Almost another disaster for the Bees. Jackson able to pounce on it. Said something to the official as he gave him the football back, and Medina will take over now at their own 22-yard line. Desperately needing a score now, down 28-6. 9:42 to play in the third quarter. As Drew Aller and company ready to go. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. As Aller will send wide receiver Michael Rodak in motion right to left. He looks to throw, fires back towards the left. It's caught by Schramm for a short gain to the 24-yard line. Carlton Landingham makes the tackle after a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Even when they do these bubble screens, just not breaking them open for anything. St. Edward, they're able to close them down quickly. Aller now will have a 2nd down and 8. Again, 2 receivers right, 3 to the left. He looks left, throws over the middle. Pass is caught near the first down marker at the 32-yard line. That was Matt Rudolph on the catch. Had to look at the had to look down. When you go beyond the number 7 wide receiver on the depth chart, that's when you know you're in trouble there, to look down. But he makes that catch, and it's a big one. It's a first down. As Rudolph stretches the chains out to the 32. Aller rolls right. Being chased, fires over the middle, and the pass caught at the 40-yard line. Drew Hensley makes the catch for a gain of 8. Aller using his feet there just to kind of buy him some time. Now she's spotted at the 39, so we'll call it a gain of 7. It'll be a 2nd down and 3. 8:25 and counting to play in the third quarter. 28-6, St. Edward leading Medina. 5 wide now for the Bees, including 3 on the right. Aller looks right and throws high, incomplete for Michael Rodak at the 50-yard line. Well covered by Dontrez Howard anyway. Dontrez Howard is, Landingham's had the 2 interceptions tonight, but Howard from the safety spot has played very well. Now I've got kids in front of me who are auditioning for America's Got Talent, but they don't realize that the microphone's turned off. Sorry, guys. Maybe next time. 2nd down and 3. You may hear something. As Aller goes to the shotgun, 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. It's a 3rd down and 3 at the 39-yard line for the Bees. Aller looks left on a bubble screen. The pass dropped, and it's incomplete. Trying to throw it over there on the far side. Might have been Reed Kelps who's the intended receiver, and Larry Laird understanding now the situation his team's in. They're down 28-6 with 8:10 to go here in the third quarter. They have got to get a first down. So Aller with 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. 4th down and 3 Medina. Aller throws long down the left side. It's incomplete, but a flag is going to come down. And I think Jawan Jackson is finally going to get the pass interference call he's been looking for all night. Again, on that, they've tried that play most of the night, just man-on-man coverage, breaking out from the far left down the sideline. And I think Jackson finally was able to get that interference call. The officials will converse about it, but it will be a first down for the Battling Bees. And it's another example of why you do go for it on 4th and short, even though the ball's on your side of the field, because you try to throw, and if you don't get the catch, sometimes you can get the flag, and the ball will go now to the St. Edward 46-yard line. As Randolph will go in motion. Again, 5 wide here for the Battling Bees. Aller throws to the right. He's got Rodak at the 36, who's immediately wrestled out of bounds. But that's a gain of close to 10 and another first down. Move the chains. Plenty of time for this for Medina to come back here. 7:59 to go in the third. They trail 28-6. got to get this back to a two-possession game first and foremost. Rudolph in motion again as Aller looks left, flushed, rolls right, and he'll tuck. Now he'll throw off his back foot to the end zone, and it's incomplete. There were 2 Battling Bee wide receivers and about 4 defensive backs for the Eagles in the end zone. And Aller not able to make the completion. I think that's one where Drew, if he looked at the film and say, yeah, maybe I'm better off just running it and getting some kinds of positive yardage because, again, he threw off his back foot, and it gave St. Edward's defense a chance to come over and converge on the play. 2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line. As before Aller can get a playoff here, I think we may have had a delay of game. Nope, false start. That's the same result, though, 5-yard penalty. And we have our first final of the night. As far as Northeast Ohio, Mitch Hewitt and his Chardon Hilltoppers are headed to the Division III state semis. They beat Dover tonight 31-3. And we'll finish that thought in a second. Aller, after the penalty on 2nd down and 15, throws left and incomplete into the Medina bench. I think Brennan Schramm was the closest Battling Bee to the football, but Aller was being chased again by Wyatt Gideon, who's been tailing him all evening long. You know, we'll see what happens between West Holmes and Holy Name, but the Chardon Hilltoppers have been playing at another level. You know, we saw them, you know, shut out Kenston 49-0 during one of our games of the week this year, and I mean they've haven't lost any of their hunger, any of their aggressiveness as the defending state champions to be the hunted this year, and they have played better and better every week, which is scary. Aller throws Rodak with a one-handed catch at the 35, goes to the 30, inside the 25, and absolutely planted once he got to the 25-yard line. That was a big stick by Kyan Mason, but it's a first down on that middle screen to Michael Rodak, who made a brilliant catch. That was not easy. Ball will go down to the 25 of the Eagles. 7:23 to go here in the third. St. Edward 28 and Medina 6. As the Eagles will make some subs on defense here. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right now for Medina. Aller on the shotgun. Will roll right. Now he'll roll back left. Throws left side, and the pass is going to be caught at the 5-yard line, and it'll be a first and goal. Whoever made that catch, I didn't see who made it initially. I think it was Rudolph. It was. Matt might have pushed off a little bit and got away with it, but officials didn't see it, and it's going to be a first and goal. Big completion there from Aller. As he hits Matt Rudolph, now it is a first and goal at the 5 for the Battling Bees. Aller ready, gets the snap, looks right, throws right, and it's incomplete. Trying to throw a little slant pattern into the end zone. It was pretty well covered, and it was low, incomplete, 2nd down and goal. (28-6), St. Edward leading Medina. A little bit of a stoppage here. I think everybody for Medina was looking over Larry Laird and his coaching staff getting the play call in. 2nd and goal. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Aller rolling right. Looks, throws, and it's incomplete. Over on the right side of the end zone, had a man there. Was rolling out, couldn't quite make the connection over on the far side. I think he was looking for Jackson, and it'll be a 3rd down and goal from the 5. Obvious now 4-down territory. You're not going to kick the field goal to go 28-9. That would make a whole heck of a lot of sense. Now, first things first, though, you've got a 3rd down and an opportunity to do something here. Again, same look here. With 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Rudolph goes in motion. Aller will keep, and Aller's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage, back at about the 6-yard line by Wyatt Gideon. Boy, he has been terrific tonight all over the field. 4th and goal. Call that a TFL, and it'll be now 4th and goal back at the 6. Boy, Wyatt has been all over the field tonight. Getty, Landingham, Kilbane, Howard. 4th and goal at the 6. Medina really needs this here badly. Trailing 28-6. Here's Aller. Rolling, fires back of the end zone. Nobody home. Incomplete. He had 2 receivers there, and they were awfully close to each other, and it was like he was trying to find the soft spot between the 2, and nobody was there. Incomplete pass, and St. Edward will take over now at their own 6 with 5:46 to go, and boy, you get the feeling that, we got a long way to go still. You almost feel like that would have been the last gasp. We are getting a report, by the way, just taking a momentary break from high school football. Tyler Carey told me, a report from a number of sources for the Cavaliers. Colin Sexton could be done for the season after getting a surgery on his torn meniscus on his knee. Eagles will go to work now from their own 6 on first down. Enovich will get the carry, and he'll get short yardage to about the 7-yard line. Very little there. It'll be 2nd down and 10 with 5:30 to go here in the 3rd quarter. So, well, the Cavaliers have been such a fun story so far this year because, there weren't a ton of expectations despite the fact they had got Mobley and Rubio, but they had been fun to watch here. As Ramos to throw on 2nd down, over the middle, passes behind Miller. An incomplete and almost intercepted. So it'll set up a 3rd down and 10. The one thing you'll say is, even when Sexton's been out, the Cavaliers have still been fun to watch, and they've still been very competitive. Now all of a sudden you lose Jared Allen, and then you lose Evan Mobley, and then Markkanen's been out, and then it's a whole other story here. It's awfully hard for any team to win when you're missing 3 of your 5 or 6 best players. So again, it appears that Colin Sexton is going to be done for the year. Adrian Wojnarowski, Shams Charnia amongst those reporting that. 3rd down and about 9. Ramos back from the end zone, able to get out of trouble and run. He'll get the first down across the 15 and across the 20, out of bounds to about the 21-yard line. That was a near disaster for Christian Ramos, but he was able to get out of traffic. And looking at it, he had one Medina Bee bearing down on him in the end zone. Once he was able to break out of that and find some room at the 5, he was able to get to the outside and pick up a much-needed first down for the Eagles. Now they have some breathing room at their own 21-yard line. 4:58 to play in the 3rd quarter. Eagles 28, Battling Bees 6 in this Division I Region I championship game. Christian Ramos gets the low snap, picks it up, rolls right, throws right, and pass is incomplete at the 34-yard line. Over there on the far side to Manning, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Ramos did well just to get that ball up, much less get out of the pocket and throw, but just not able to thread the needle to Rayshawn Manning. 28-6, and this has been, Medina got the first 6 points of the game. They took the opening kickoff down on an 80-yard drive and scored. It's been 28 unanswered for St. Edward on 2nd down. Well, student body left. Ramos will keep it to the 25 and down to the 26-yard line. Not a whole lot of room for him to maneuver, but he was able to get something out of nothing there. Andrew DeLuck on the tackle. And that's going to be a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5. And you can see, we talked about this a little bit last week watching Walsh Jesuit and Benedictine. The approach now, they're still aggressive, but, St. Edward kind of now being deliberately aggressive because they're also keeping an eye on the clock and milking it as much as they can. As Ramos now on 3rd down, over the middle, pass deflected and almost intercepted at the 40-yard line. Keon Johnson and Isaiah Perry both had an opportunity there to maybe get a pick. That's going to bring up 4th down. At least there's a sideline warning, by the way, as well. At least I thought that's what I saw. Now, we're all seeing 4th and 6. The yard marker over on the far side says 3rd and 6. Scoreboard says 4th and 6. I'm relatively sure it's 4th down, and I think the officials are trying to figure out what down it is, which in Week 14 is never a good thing. And I think the far side official is going to tell the yard marker, yeah, it's 4th down. And that Tom Lombardo is going to bring in the punt team. Okay. 4:08 to go in the third. Jawan Jackson will stand in single safety at his own 36-yard line. Waits for the punt here from Ben Lavelle. Gets it away, low kick. It'll take a bounce at the 50, go into Medina territory, and be downed at the Bees' 45-yard line. So Medina will take over there with 3:59 to go here in this third quarter. And again, you felt even on the previous drive they had to score. I mean, now it's almost, the priority. They can't get a score here. Your opportunities. And of course, as I say that, remember we watched 3 weeks ago in this very stadium a similar deficit. Menor came back and, came within an eyelash of tying or potentially beating St. Ignatius. So, I mean, there's time, and certainly with this offense, they can score quickly. We know this. But they've had a lot of empty trips over the last couple of sequences here. As the throw from Aller is caught at the 40-yard line of St. Edward, inside the 40 and down to about the 35-yard line. That's Reed Kelps on the catch over on the far side. And they'll mark Kelps down. Boy, they're going to put it all the way to the 31-yard line. Wow, I didn't think it was that at that spot. But Medina will say thank you very much and take it from the 31, Aller ready. Shoots one over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. I think Brennan Schramm was the one who was trying to get free, and the pass was thrown low, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. 3:40 to go here in the third quarter. St. Edward 28, Medina 6. Medina at the St. Edward 31. It'll be a 2nd down and 10, and we've got a timeout taken. Timeout called by St. Edward. That is their first of this second half. WKYC's high school football game of the week is presented by Chick-fil-A, home of the original chicken sandwich. You can stop by your neighborhood Chick-fil-A in Cleveland, Akron, Canton, all over Northeast Ohio. Again, the home of the original chicken sandwich. There's, again, a Chick-fil-A right here. As you come down on Ridge Road here on your way to Byers Field, you literally go right to it. If I had any thoughts of stopping at Chick-fil-A before the game, the problem is the line was just so long. Everybody wants that chicken sandwich. And I have to do it another time. By the way, my nieces tell me, though, that at Chick-fil-A, apparently, this is the time of the year to get the peppermint milkshake. Because, obviously, we're entering the holiday season. So, while you're at Chick-fil-A, you get the chicken sandwich, get a peppermint milkshake. You think of us. 2nd and 10 out of the timeout here as Rudolph goes in motion left to right. Aller will look right, cuts back left, and out of the pocket, able to throw it away incomplete as Wyatt Gideon nearly had the sack. Crowd wants a grounding call. And I think the officials are going to converse as to whether it should be. There it is. Flag goes down. It's not quite like the NFL where they have the tackle box rule. I mean, and there was nobody near where Aller threw that football. So that is indeed going to be grounding, although I think another official may want to make his opinion known there, but it's going to be intentional grounding, and I think that's the right call. Credit again, Wyatt Gideon. He absolutely disrupted that play and forced that penalty. So move the ball back to the 49-yard line of St. Edward. And it's going to be now a 4th and 28. No, 3rd and 28. The official's going to stop. It should be with loss of down, right? I thought it should be a 4th down, and I think the scoreboard operator's got it right. Because on grounding, I thought it's a loss of down. So let's see if official's going to tell the yard marker guy. No, it is third down, they say. Okay. I'm glad I wasn't the only one who thought that it was a loss of down. Okay. I'm wrong, apparently. Is to throw is Aller. Pressured again by Gideon. Throws, though, down the middle. The pass incomplete at the 20-yard line as he was trying to find Brennan Schramm. And now it's fourth down with 3:26 to go here in the third. And, you know, I think you'd love to go for it on, 4th and 28, but I think at this point, it's Larry Laird's thing, playing the numbers. It's you just take the percentage here and try to pin St. Edward inside their own maybe 20-yard line here. So punt it away. Good snap. Punt is away on a line drive. It'll bounce inside the 10, inside the 5, and down to about the 2-yard line. Exactly what they wanted out of that scenario. They couldn't keep the drive going, so you pin the Eagles down to the 2-yard line. That was a good scenario there for the Battling Bees. But they still trail 28-6 with 3:16 to go here in this third quarter. So we'll see now, especially being pinned so deep. I would think we'll see, initially anyway, a dose of Ramos and Enovich running the football here. And before we can get a playoff here, we've got whistles. Yeah, some kind of stoppage in play, and I have no idea why. There was another problem with there was an issue with the chain gang there. I think the chain had gotten tangled or something there over on the far side. So now it's positioned and we can get rolling here. You may have heard in front of us there were some St. Edward fans chanting, "Why are you leaving?" There's an exodus of Medina fans on their way out here at Byers Field. As Ramos from the end zone throws to the right looking for Goodall. And, boy, he made a nice catch, but unfortunately couldn't get a foot down, and it's out of bounds at the 30-yard line. It's a heck of an effort by Connor Goodall, but not quite able to make the completion there. It'll be a 2nd down and 10. I mean, I got to tell you, and I would show you if I could. OHSAA rules mean that's why you're looking at myself and my new friends here in the booth here. That unfortunately, because it's a televised game, that's why we can't even show you there. But, I mean, there's it's a mass of people out of here. And I know it's cold, but there's still a quarter plus here to go here. 2nd down, and they'll keep it on the ground. They'll go to Enovich for a short pickup, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And they'll mark Danny down at about the 3-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down. If at that, they may say no gain. I don't know. With this Bees offense and Drew Aller and everything, I'd stay. But that's just me. It's easy to say that. I got the coat off here in the press box. I'm not outside. I get it. But it'll be 3rd down and 8. So, yeah, Enovich picks up 2 on that run here. 2:35 and counting to play in the third. 28-6. St. Edward leading Medina. Ramos now on 3rd down. From his end zone, hit as he throws, but he makes the completion out near the 15-yard line, and that's going to be a 1st down to Miller. Yeah, needed to get to the 12, got to the 15. Nice rolling catch by Jackson T. Miller, and it's a 1st down. Boy, that is a fine effort by Christian Ramos. And, yeah, he's had a couple of those tonight where he's been in the pocket and he knows he's going to take the hit. And he's been standing tall and making some good throws under pressure. From the 14, it's a 1st down. And they'll go on the ground, Enovich, and he's got a hole across the 20, out to the 25, to the 26-yard line. And yet another 1st down. And now, again, Eagles have some breathing room, and they can work on the clock here a little bit. So we approach now under 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Ramos to the right, throws Miller at the 25 to the 30 on the bubble screen to the 35, and gets about 8 on first down. I mean, now the Eagles are getting chunk plays here, left and right, running and throwing here. So we approach 1 minute to play here in the third quarter. Ball at the right hash at the 35. It's 2nd and 1, and Anovich will get the carry, and on second effort, going to be close to the first down. I don't quite think he got there, though. It was about a... No, they'll say he got it. I didn't think he quite had gotten to the marker, but officials say it's a first down. 1 minute to play here in the third. And St. Edward, really, you feel it now, firmly in command of this football game, 28-6. Medina had gotten down into the red zone and could not score, and you felt like maybe that might have been their last gasp. Ramos pumping once down, throwing long down the field. He's got Miklich wide open at the 30. Miklich to the 20. Miklich to the 10. He's going to have a hat trick. Touchdown, St. Edward. Ryan Miklich with his third touchdown catch of the game. And that one feels like it just paved the way for the Eagles to a berth in the state semifinals. With 32 seconds to go in the third quarter, they now lead 34-6. 64 yards on that touchdown throw, Ramos to Miklich. Ramos with 19 touchdown passes this year. Miklich with 7 touchdown catches. He's had 3 here tonight. I mean, he's been the weapon of choice. They've run him on the seams. He was the recipient on that touchdown on the flea flicker. And that one on a slant. Now, Eagles will go for 2 here. And here's another reverse. Let's see if they try an Eagle pass. Throws. It's going to be in the end zone. It'll be intercepted by Nick Manley, but it will hold the lead at 34-6. Had they gotten the 2-point conversion, that would have put us in a running clock mode for the rest of the game. So we will not be in the running clock for the remainder of the game at this juncture. So when Tom Lombardo was thinking, hey, listen, I'm gonna, again, reduce the amount of time it takes for me to try to win the game by going for 2, but they weren't quite able to execute on that reverse pass. I think it was Miklich who tried to throw that pass, but no dice there on the 2-point conversion attempt. Tell you what, on a couple of occasions, though, we've seen some razzle-dazzle from the Eagles tonight. We came in saying, well, Medina's offense with the air raid and all the receivers and a record-setting year for Drew Aller, tonight, St. Edward, well, it's just methodical and this, that. I mean, we've seen them do a flea flicker. We've seen a fake punt. I mean, Air Lombardo tonight. And Christian Ramos and Ryan Miklich have hooked up for 3 touchdowns. By the way, with a win tonight, Coach Lombardo would become the all-time leader in wins at St. Edward, passing his father-in-law, John Gibbons. And a short kickoff. It's going to be fielded. Keon Johnson has it at the 19, across the 25, and he'll be stood up as he approaches the 30-yard line. And young man who's had a big game tonight, Dantes Howard, comes up with the play on special teams with 26 seconds to go in the third quarter. 34-6, St. Edward. They have waited, talking about the Eagles, virtually a year, not quite 365 days, but pretty much, to get this rematch against Medina. And, once Joel Castleberry took that kickback 72 yards after Medina took a 6-0 lead, and the Eagles have never looked back. And they have played offense, defense, special teams, a phenomenal game. As Aller in trouble, going to get sacked back at the 22-yard line on first down. Gideon started it. Kilbane finished it. Those ends have been brutal tonight against Medina and Drew Aller. Kilbane and Gideon. You know, it's hounds to the hunter. You know, one will drive the quarterback one direction where the other end is waiting for him. That'll do it for 3 quarters, the third quarter here in in Parma. Well, that sack by Kilbane got me there. End of the third quarter here at Byers Field in Parma. St. Edward 34 and Medina 6. So we will have the fourth quarter coming up here, and we'll check in with our man Tyler Carey and see what else is happening score-wise around Northeast Ohio. Already, we know that the Chardon Hilltoppers have advanced to the Division III state semifinals as the champion in the second year in a row in Region 9. They'll play either West Holmes or Holy Name next week in the state semis. After that sack, it'll be 2nd down and 16 to start this fourth quarter for the Medina Bees. Stats through 3 quarters. St. Edward has 403 yards of total offense to 250 for Medina. Christian Ramos, 11 of 21 passing, 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Drew Aller, 19 of 46, 231 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, and he has been sacked 3 times tonight. Just an amazing performance by the defense of the Eagles. Danny Enovich didn't need him a whole lot in that third quarter. 20 carries, though, for 120 yards tonight and 2 touchdowns. They certainly needed him tonight. Just has been 212 yards rushing, 200 yards passing. A balanced, fundamentally sound game tonight for the Eagles of St. Edward. And through 3 quarters, they've got the lead. Elsewhere around Northeast Ohio, West Holmes will get that date with Chardon. They beat Holy Name 31-21. And, boy, I'll get you an update in a second. It has gotten tight in Sandusky in Division II, Region 6. Aller on 2nd and 16 throws a bubble screen, but it's going to be a tackle for loss because Wyatt Gideon went over there and wrestled the receiver down back at about the 18-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. Avon had a pretty commanding lead on Toledo Central Catholic. At one point, it was 14-0, 21-7. It's now 35-28 Eagles in the fourth quarter over Central Catholic. Archbishop Hoban now leading Walsh Jesuit 49-24 in Region 5. Aller on 3rd and 25, rolling right, stops near the sideline, throws, and it is a rolling catch made at about the 37-yard line. Brendan Schramm on the catch. It's a gain of 19. They're still going to be short, though. They're going to need a 4th down, and it'll be about 4th and 4. That's a heck of an effort by Schramm. Actually make it 4th and 2. They're going to move it all the way up to the 38-yard line. That is a great effort by Aller and Schramm. 4th and a couple here. So they'll call it about a gain of 23. 4th and about a yard and a half. 3 backs in the backfield for Medina. And they'll go on the ground at the 40 out to the 43-yard line. It's a 1st down. And I think that was Matt. I think that may have been Matt Hamula on the carry. He's carried it a couple times this year, and he gets the 1st down to the 44-yard line. 11:08 and counting to play here in the fourth quarter. 34-6, St. Edward. Aller will go on the shotgun. Fires left, pass caught at the 40 to the 45, 50, and we got a flag down as the Medina receiver goes down into the bench. That's Brendan Schramm on the catch. He was taken down right at the St. Edward bench at the 48-yard line. And the penalty, by the way, it's going to be, I think, a holding against the Medina Battling Bees, so that'll nullify the catch. Maslin is leading Green 22-19. And again, we said Hoban leading Walsh 49-24 in the fourth. So, you know, we'll wait and see how that plays itself out. Pickerington Central and Upper Arlington are tied at 14. They have gone to overtime. The winner of that will, at this point, get St. Edward next week. barring a monumental comeback by the Battling Bees. As that penalty went all the way back to the 33-yard line. And it's going to be a 1st and 21. As Aller rolling right, throws right, and Rodak with a one-handed catch at the 42-yard line. They get another flag down as he goes out of bounds after a gain of about 9. And this penalty, I think, this flag might be against the Eagles here. Hang on a second. It is against St. Edward. Dan Stoddard getting some time now, wide receiver for the Eagles. I think it was holding against the St. Edward defense there. So Pickerington Central or Upper Arlington, they're tied at 14 in overtime in their matchup in the Region 3 championship. St. Edward here at Byers Field leading Medina 34-6 in this Region 1 title game with 10:37 to play here in the fourth quarter, and a little bit of a, I think, a conference by the officials trying to figure out the penalty and where the ball should be placed. Boy, I see. Now, okay, they marked it back. Now they're going to mark it forward. Moeller, you may have heard my man Adam Mendoza saying it. Moeller was a winner tonight down to Region 4. So. I tell you, we'll see what happens. But you almost get the feeling we may be in for a rematch of that epic game they had earlier this year. As Aller, after the penalty now, on 1st and 11, rolling, trying to keep the play alive, being chased, and he's going to go down back at the 35-yard line by C.J. Harvey. Yeah, just ran out of time, and Harvey's going to have his second sack of the night. That will be a loss of 8 back to the 35. It'll be a 2nd down and 19. Just another example. I mean, that was as much of a coverage sack as you're going to see, especially against this offense in high school football. And again, it illustrates how well these defensive backs tonight have played for the Eagles. As Aller will throw to the right, pass caught back at the original line of scrimmage at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 9, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 10. And that said, I mean, again, Gideon, Harvey, and Kilbane have been superb tonight on the defensive line. And, you know, Ratcliffe and Freer Brown have done their thing as well. And this defense is as good as advertised, that is for sure. 3rd and 10. Aller, quick middle screen to the 45, to the 50, and the receiver will be brought down a little bit shy of the 1st down to the 48-yard line of the Eagles. And it'll be a 4th down from there. And it was Brennan Schramm who made that catch. No, actually, I'm sorry, that was Rodak who made the catch. And it's going to be 4th down and about a yard or so. 8:45 to play here in the 4th. Again, same look that we saw earlier from the Bees in this 4th and short. They'll go 1, 2, 3 backs in the backfield. And before they can execute the handoff, Hamula got the handoff, but I think there's going to be a false start against the Battling Bees. So they'll bring back in their base offense, which, of course, for their base offense means 5 wide receivers. And instead of 4th and 1, it'll be about 4th and 6. Again, we'll keep things going next Friday on Black Friday for the WKYC High School Football Game of the Week. We'll see how things play themselves out in Division 2. That's at least right now kind of our plan. Who knows? We might be back at this stadium, or at this stadium, or maybe we'll be back at Brunswick. We'll see. Aller to throw. On 4th down, fires and throws behind Drew Hensley, all on the right sideline, incomplete. And that will do it for the drive of the Medina Bees. And St. Edward will take over with 8:07 to play in the fourth. And you sit there and you wonder if that may have been Drew Aller's final pass as a high school football quarterback. We'll see if there's another opportunity if Larry Laird puts him back in. But at this point, 34-6, I don't know. If that was his last pass, even though it was incomplete, his career has been stuff that dreams are made of. And certainly this year, as before we can call a play here, I think St. Edward takes a timeout, and Tom Lombardo will bring the offense over here and have a conversation. We may start to see some of the second unit guys come in and get an opportunity here. 8:07 to go here in the fourth quarter. 34-6, St. Edward in command against Medina. Ready to exact the final revenge after getting knocked out by the Battling Bees last year. 35-31 in a game that came down literally to Matt Spatney stripping Christian Ramos near the goal line. And I think Christian Ramos, and I know he had a turnover early in this one, but Christian Ramos remembered how it felt, and he really was superb tonight as a runner, but certainly as a thrower. 3 touchdown passes, all of them to Ryan Miklich. As the aforementioned Ramos will hand the ball on first down to the 40. It's Enovich to the 30, to the 20. Enovich to the 10, stumbles down, and finally brought down at about the 5-yard line. Somebody for the Bees literally grabbed a shoestring of Danny Enovich and prevented him from taking it all the way to the house. But it will be a first down and goal at about the 6-yard line. And any point here for St. Edward, be it a field goal or a touchdown, will put us in running clock mode for the rest of the night. Spotted at the 7, first and goal from there. Quarterback Christian Ramos ready for the snap. Enovich to his left, and he fakes to Enovich, pops one in the end zone, but it's intercepted. Intercepted in the end zone. Medina will bring it out to about the 10-yard line. Trying a little pop pass into the end zone, and I think that was Keon Johnson who was there to take it away. That is Johnson's 5th interception of the year, so we won't be in running clock mode. And it will be a first down and 10. They'll actually say it's out to the 9-yard line, and that's where the Battling Bees will take over. So, yeah, and you give the team credit. You say, hey, look, they refuse to give up. They're not just going to roll over and let it be a running clock mode. They were able to slam the door and get the offense back on the field. From the 9, it's a first and 10 from that spot. And Aller will shoot one over the middle, incomplete at near the 20-yard line. Tried to thread the needle in between 2 defenders, and the intended receiver for the Battling Bees. I think that was, I've got 2 guys wearing number 19, but I think that's Stoddard. It'll be second down. They have two players on the roster wearing 19. That's never good for an announcer. And they're both listed as offensive players. Second and 10 with 7:23 to go. Here's Aller back at the end zone, steps up, rolls, moves, fires, pass deflected and incomplete at the 30-yard line, as intended for Michael Rodak, but Zion Freer-Brown nearly had the interception for the Eagles. All right, it is a final in Division II, Region 5. Archbishop Hoban with the win tonight over Walsh Jesuit, 49-30. So Tim Terrell and company will advance to the state semis and await either Avon or the winner of Maslin and Green. On 3rd down and 10, here's Aller. Shoots one to the right, and the pass is dropped at about the 11-yard line. Hensley not able to pull it in. I think he took off before he caught the ball, and it will set up a 4th down. I think somebody just told me, I could hear saying Avon and Toledo Central Catholic are now tied. Ooh. Well, Central Catholic did that last week to Highland, too. I mean, when you thought that the Hornets were about to walk out of there with a win, Central Catholic came back and picked up the victory. And I tell you, I've done this. It's 7:35 to go, by the way, is what I was just told by Vince McKee of Key on Sports. It's 4th and 10. High snap for the punt. Kick is away as they angle it over to the right, and nobody was back there for St. Edward. It's going to roll out of bounds at the 41-yard line of the Eagles, so they'll take over on a short field with 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, and I think we're going to start to see some backups here for Tom Lombardo's team. I see Josh Gribble checking in. So, well, Ramos is still coming back in, but Gribble is going to be the new running back. Now let's see. And now let's see. Goodall's coming out. Manning's coming out. So they're starting to slowly work in the bench bunch here with 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. I'll finish my thought on Toledo Central Catholic here in a second. As Ramos will get that shotgun snap, hands Gribble to the right at the 40. He runs to the 35. Still running, stays inbounds to the 30, and finally brought down at about the 28-yard line. But for Josh Gribble, it's a gain of 13. I can't tell you, folks, how many times in my career I've had a chance to broadcast a team from Northeast Ohio, particularly from Lorain County, but one time there was a game with Aurora. Avon and Avon Lake playing Toledo Central Catholic, and it's never easy. And many times, Toledo Central Catholic has crushed a dream of a Lorain County team, or in 2012, it was an Aurora team in the state semis from going to a state championship. They're a very, very good program, and I got to tell you, we were looking at that when the playoffs started. Tyler Carey and I, as Gribble gets the handoff again at the 25 and dives down to about the 23 for a gain of 4 on 1st and 10. 6:20 and counting to play here in the fourth, 34-6 St. Edward. You know, we were looking at that Region 6 bracket when the playoffs started, and I just kept saying, don't sleep on Central Catholic. They're good and they're experienced. They've been at this a long time, and, I think everybody felt going in that, Avon as the higher seed, and certainly we saw the Eagles play so well about a month ago over at Finney Stadium, but Central Catholic has not let them up here, and now there's a tie game in the fourth quarter. Gribble again with the carry. Next, a nice cut inside the 20. Finds room at the 10. Gribble to the 5. Gribble to the pylon, and he is in for the touchdown. Josh Gribble with his 6th touchdown run of the year. And now we go to a running clock mode as St. Edward now with a 40-6 lead over Medina here in the fourth quarter with 5:41 to play. And Gribble with some good blocking downfield made a nice dive into the end zone for the touchdown. And that's going to put a bow on a masterpiece tonight by Tom Lombardo's St. Edward Eagles. As Jonky for the extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 41-6 Eagles with 5:41 to play here in the fourth quarter. Medina scored. I feel like I'm talking about the Browns and the Patriots. The Medina scored the first touchdown of the game and took that opening kickoff, went down 80 yards, got the touchdown. Got the touchdown from the Drew Allard to Drew Hensley. And you sat there and said, well, here we go, shootout time, let's do it. And, from then on, every time the door was slammed shut by the Eagles defense. And it was not a fluke tonight. They were dominant. Scored 41 unanswered points in this football game. And to me, it was the way they played tonight. Defensively, end to end, about as good as you can play against this Medina offense, this historically great Medina offense. But the Eagles offense tonight, Ramos, Enovich, Miklich in particular, the offensive line, Lavelle, Castros, Wolverton, Kennedy, and Roebuck, superb performance. Medina's defense just never could make enough big plays, and that's been a staple for them all year long as the kickoff is caught on a little pop-up at the 20. They'll take it out to about the 25-yard line, and that'll be it from there. So that'll be now running clock mode with 5:26 to play in this one. You know, it just, with all the talk about how great, and deservedly so, Medina's offense has been 420 yards of total offense per game, 42 points per contest, a turnover margin of plus 26 coming into tonight. You know, none of that showed itself tonight. Not enough explosive plays by the defense. They couldn't force enough turnovers. They got that one early, but that was it. As first down, Aller throws in the direction over to the right of Rudolph, and it's incomplete. With 4:58 and counting now to play here in the fourth. Drew Aller is going to stay in the game. So we'll get a chance to see him in action, possibly for the final time here in his high school career. But, you know, the good news for Drew is we are going to see him on Saturdays in Happy Valley. And, of course, maybe if you're a Buckeye fan or a Wolverine fan or a Spartan fan, that might not be happy tidings to you as Aller throws. Pass caught Juwan Jackson with it at the 35-yard line, be a little bit short of the first down. And it'll be a third down and about a yard and a half or so. But Aller's going to go play for Coach Franklin and the Nittany Lions, and you know, he's going to do well there. I think he's everything you want in a quarterback. You know, he's got a great arm, great instincts. He has gotten better every year. He's a coachable kid, and you know, he's got a bright future in college ahead of him. Hensley will make the catch on 3rd and short for a first down across the 40 and out to the 43-yard line. Just ran into a defense tonight that was well prepared and executed so well. Gideon, Kilbane, and Harvey in particular on the defensive line. Landingham with 2 interceptions as Aller looking right, throwing right out of the pocket, and the pass is incomplete, knocked away at the very last minute away from the intended receiver, Michael Rodak. But this is going to be, you know, interesting as we look ahead, you know, next year with this Medina Bees squad. You know, after getting this experience and having this great, really last year plus, you know, with some new guys coming in, how can they maintain this surge as Jackson makes a catch on a bubble screen across the 45 and out to about the 48-yard line, about a gain of 5. It'll be a 3rd and 5. Again, clock moving. It'll continue to move. 2:45 and counting to go in the fourth quarter. 41-6, St. Edward. Well, this is the start now for the Medina Battling Bees, and they've had experience. They've had a nice playoff run now 2 years in a row, and can they continue to build and be a power in Northeast Ohio for years to come? And I think that's going to be the fun challenge for Larry Laird and his coaching staff to maintain this wave, this crest that they've had here over this last year or so. But for St. Edward, a trip back now after getting knocked out last year by Medina, beating St. Edward last year when they played. And then 2 years ago we were here when the Eagles lost that classic overtime game to Menor in the regional final as Aller on 4th down throws incomplete. And that probably will be his final throw as a high school quarterback. And with 1:53 to go, it'll be a turnover on downs, and St. Edward will bring the offense back on the field and start celebrating with a 41-6 lead. You know, we were with St. Edward in 2018 when they won the state championship. We were there with them when they, on this field, they lost that heartbreaker in overtime to Menor. And now ready to go back to the state semis and maybe 2 weeks from tonight playing for a state championship. We'll wait and see. The Eagles will go to the victory formation with 1:40 and counting and improve to 13-1. Medina's season will end at 13-1. Remarkable season for Larry Laird. And probably, I would imagine he'll get significant, Larry, for Coach of the Year. And Drew Aller, as we mentioned, will be hard-pressed to not get Mr. Football as the state of Ohio's best player. But the best team in Northeast Ohio in terms of Division I, the St. Edward Eagles. As on second down again, they'll go to the knee. We're under a minute to play. Probably have to go to a knee one more time, and the Eagles will head to the state semis against either Upper Arlington or Pickerington Central. Last report, they were tied in overtime. And St. Edward will join Chardon as a Northeast Ohio team advancing to the state semifinals. They'll go to a knee. That will do it. Tom Lombardo and his St. Edward Eagles are bound for the state semifinals. They beat the Medina Battling Bees tonight at Byers Field. 41-6 is the final. Wow. 41 unanswered points for the Eagles tonight. I tell you what an impressive performance. Offense, defense, special teams for Coach Lombardo and company. And now that the game is over, we can share with you some of those images here, and we got the final stats because they may have the best stat crew anywhere. And of course, now the Kenston people will say, well, Dino, you said that about us 5 weeks ago or whatever, but the folks here for St. Edward do a great job, and I appreciate them getting us stats so quickly. Also getting an update here from Tyler Carey and TC when we got here. No updates at the moment. Okay, so here's what I can tell you. Here's what we do know. Here's who's advanced in Northeast Ohio. Chardon, they're on to this Final Four in Division III. They beat Dover 31-3. Hoban in Division II, Region 5. They beat Walsh Jesuit 49-30. So the Knights are in the Final Four. West Holmes beat Holy Name in Division III, Region 10 in the title game, 31-21. It's West Holmes and Chardon battling next week in the state semis. We are waiting on a couple of scores. Maslin and Green, Avon and Toledo Central Catholic in Division II. And we are also waiting on the final from Pickerington Central and Upper Arlington in Region 3, because the winner of that will get St. Edward next week. Let's look at the final numbers here as we try to get some of those scores here as they come in. St. Edward, 482 yards of total offense tonight, 200 exactly through the air, 291 on the ground. Just perfect balance. Very few mistakes. They had the one fumble by Ramos, but that was it. Let's see. As far as individual numbers for the Eagles, Danny Yanovich, 21 carries for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was the story of the first half, especially for the Eagles. Christian Ramos, 13 carries for 68 yards. Josh Gribble, 3 carries for 41 yards and a touchdown. Christian Ramos throwing the football tonight, 11 of 22 for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did get intercepted once in the fourth quarter, essentially what was garbage time. But his rating tonight, 102.3, and he was that and more tonight for the Eagles. Ryan Miklich was the big receiver tonight for the Eagles. 3 catches, 124 yards, all for touchdowns, including a 64-yarder. Let's see. Jackson T. Miller, 5 catches for 33 yards. Rayshawn Manning, 2 catches for 22. Connor Goodall, 1 catch for 21 yards. Update from one Tyler Carey. Avon had a potential go-ahead field goal blocked, and they are headed to overtime. Yeah, that's tied, still tied at 35. But they had just kind of almost like Highland last week. Highland had an opportunity to try to win the game late and ended up losing. But Avon had a potential go-ahead field goal blocked. So we're going to overtime in Sandusky, 35-35, Avon and Toledo Central Catholic. They've gone to triple overtime with Upper Arlington and Pickerington Central still knotted up. Unbelievable. If coming into tonight's game as you just can see, maybe I'll zoom in here a little bit because, again, the game is over. I can show you. The Eagles just got their regional championship trophy and are celebrating. Drew Aller's final game for the Medina Bees tonight. He was 27 of 62 for 299 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was also sacked 3 times. He carried the ball 9 times for 16 yards. Drew Hensley had 9 catches for 106 yards and a touchdown. Brennan Schramm had 8 catches for 66 yards. Michael Rodak had 4 catches for 51 yards. Let's see, Matt Rudolph, 2 catches for 28 yards. Jawan Jackson was held. He had 6 targets tonight, but he was held to 1 catch on 5 yards. And Reed Kelps had 1 catch for 23 yards as far as that was concerned. Penalties were a big problem tonight for Medina. 8 penalties for 54 yards, and they also had the turnovers, which didn't help. Really, when you kind of add it all up, it was a pretty complete performance by the St. Edward Eagles defense and offense tonight. Yeah, Harvey had a couple of sacks. Kilbane had 2 sacks. Carlton Landingham had 2 interceptions. And it really ends up being a complete performance by the St. Edward Eagles tonight here at Byers Field. And, it's funny, you think about it. This stadium, as I said, a lot of times in Region 1, you can't. You have to play at Byers Field, and a lot of times you have to win at Byers Field in order to get to the state semis. Unless, of course, your name is St. Ignatius, you can't play a playoff game here once we get to neutral sites because this is your designated home field. But after losing here a couple of years ago to Menor in that classic game, you kind of feel that the Eagles really exercised all that tonight, and after losing on this field 2 years ago and then losing to Medina last year, all that gone now, and St. Edward can advance themselves to the state semifinals and do so proudly as they pick up that victory tonight by the final count of 41-6. So again, our plans for next week will largely depend on what happens in Sandusky between Avon and Toledo Central Catholic. Eagles win, they'll play Holben, and they may play that game right back here at Byers Field next week. If not there, probably down in Brunswick. One of those 2 facilities, I would imagine, would host the state semis. If that's the matchup, we will be there for that. Now, if it ends up being Holben against Massillon or Green, depending on the winner of that game, we would be likely at that game as well. Just depends on where it would be. Potential home for that one could be somewhere in Stark County. So we shall see, folks. But here tonight at Byers Field, St. Edward with a very commanding and a command game tonight as they win it by the final of 41-6. Tyler Carey just informed me that Green just took the lead on Massillon, 26-25 with 24 seconds to go. Trey Martin with a 16-yard touchdown catch on a drive set up by a Massillon fumble. So Green, if they can just hold on for 24 seconds, I got to tell you that they may. I'm not in Stark County, but to me that feels like an upset. And Massillon's a team that Nate Moore's team has been championship tested over the last few years. If Green can knock them out, that is a huge, huge, huge win for that program. So they've got to hold on and try to finish it out. So again, you've got 3 games of note finishing. 2 are in overtime. Upper Arlington and Pickerington Central headed to a 3rd overtime, tied. The winner of that gets St. Edward next week. Avon and Toledo Central Catholic knotted up at 35 in overtime in Division II, Region 6. And Green just grabbing the lead on Massillon, 26-25 with 24 seconds to go. High school football, man. I mean, we didn't have that kind of a barn burner down the stretch game for you tonight, but you can certainly appreciate the amazing finishes going around Northeast Ohio, and it certainly was here. Let's see, I think they're down 18 seconds to go now 26-25. I'm following a couple of trusted people on Twitter. So I want to see if I can get one final for you folks before I get out of here. That's the goal. If I can get one more final in one of these games, they're down to 11 seconds to go between Massillon and Green. In a game that was, Tyler Carey and I talked about it this week. They originally were going to play that game at Canal Fulton Northwest, and people on both sides said there's no way. We've got to have a bigger venue, so they ended up moving that game down to Mansfield. So that's where they're playing it tonight. And as I said, Mansfield might end up being the recipient of our game, our winner here tonight in Division I, Region I. St. Edward playing whoever they'll face next week. They might get that state semifinal game down there, either there or. There are some fun tweets. Oh, I gotta check Twitter later. And by the way, I will have some good final thoughts on this. This was fun tonight. Timeout Massillon, 7 seconds left. Ball at their own 28. They've got no timeouts left. So basically, Massillon's down to their final play here. So unless they can execute some kind of a razzle dazzle here, Green is about to pull off again what I think is a pretty significant upset against the Massillon Tigers. So we'll hang for a second here on that one, and then unless Tyler gets me anything from the other two games, and then we will call it a night. Again, WKYC.com. Head there on Monday as we will have our Performers of the Week nomination for you to vote on. Yeah, I don't know who TC is going to pick from this game. There are a couple. You could pick Christian Ramos. You could pick Ryan Miklich. You could pick Danny Enovich. Any of them will work. I mean, to me, you could also look at the defense and sit there and say, well, okay, what about Carlton Landingham's 2 interceptions? But we'll have a couple of peak performers for you to vote on, and you go to WKYC.com and you vote, and we will. One person will have an opportunity to win a free meal courtesy of Chick-fil-A. It is a final. The Green Bulldogs win their first regional championship since 2001. They beat Massillon 26-25. So if Toledo Central Catholic beats Avon in overtime, that will mean Hoban will play Green next week. If Avon comes back and beats Toledo Central Catholic, that means Hoban and Avon will play. That's about what we know elsewhere. Here's what we know again tonight. St. Edward Eagles with 41 unanswered points here at Byers Field after Medina took the opening kickoff and scored a touchdown, and the Eagles advanced to the Final Four here in Ohio in Division I by virtue of a 41-6 win over the Medina Battling Bees. More score updates at WKYC.com. We'll have, again, final thoughts. You can follow me at Dino Cleveland, and we'll talk more about this game and a lot more later on Twitter. And then next week we'll get you set up during the holiday, before the holiday anyway. We'll get you all set up for state semifinal week and let you know where we're going to be for next Friday. All right, that'll do it for us here from Byers Field. Again, your final here in this Division I, Region I final. The St. Edward Eagles 41 and the Medina Battling